Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is story about what if Naruto starts training with Jiraiya before the academy part 1. Before I start, please do support for more amazing content and comments for part 2. Do consider to subscribe my channel and share my video to your friends and check out the description as well. Let's start the video. As Naruto walked down the streets with his head down, he could hear many jeers and insults being thrown at him, along with several projectiles. "Get out of here, demon brat!" yelled one of the store owners. "Someone should teach you some manners. Showing your face here is just shameful," said a female civilian. "A boy like that would never have any manners, dear," said her husband, looking at Naruto with disgust. Naruto didn't even flinch at these comments. He had heard it all before. Then he felt something smashed into his face. He looked down and saw a broken eggshell and some yolk, and realized that he was being attacked. He bolted, and a crowd formed behind him. Although this wasn't new either, this was the part he hated. The villagers chucked anything they could find at him. Rocks, sticks, and even the occasional dead rat were sent flying past Naruto, who just ran faster. And then he froze. A man with long black hair stood in front of him wearing some standard shinobi pants and a jounin jacket, and both his eyes were looking at him in a glare. "I won't let you hurt anyone else, demon. You killed too many people, and it ends here," he roared angrily. Naruto didn't have any idea what he was talking about. The man moved his hands so fast that Naruto could only see blurs. The man's hand came down and there was a kunai in his hand. Naruto started to run away from the man as fast as he could. He knew what people like this man were called, for he had heard the word many times before. Ninja. Naruto had never met one before, but this was not the way he had thought he would. Jiraiya was coming from outside the village, coming from meeting with all his different spies over the past years. Since his student died 10 years ago, he only came to the village every time he had something to report to his sensei in person. He regretted the fact that he couldn't be there for his sensei in his roughest of times. He came back a few years ago hoping to adopt his student's son, but the old council people wouldn't let him, not wanting him to train the boy. This time he wanted to take the boy with him again, and if they wouldn't take him away, he would train the boy here for a year before he had to go outside the village again. The sky was dark and cloudy, looked like it was going to start pouring any time now. Jiraiya made it to the gate of the village and handed the 2 guards his pass to enter the village. He walked in the village and was heading toward the Hokage tower to see his sensei when he heard a bunch of people screaming, "Get him!" He walked toward where the noise was and saw a bunch of civilians, genins, and chunins running after a little boy. He took a look closer and saw who that little boy, and he just lost his mind. He ran toward the group at full speed, hoping to make it before they harmed his sensei's only son. The group saw a man with long white hair running toward them with inhuman speed, so they started cheering, thinking that the old man was running to kill the demon with them. Jiraiya made it to the group and he immediately killed the 5 chunins of the before releasing a killing intent that had everybody around on their knees. The third was in his office when he felt the killing intent. He started sweating knowing that Jiraiya was in the village, and he wasn't happy about something. Jiraiya looked at the civilians on the ground and then looked at the young boy who was on the ground fearing for his life. "Does this look like a demon to you?" yelled Jiraiya, taking out some kunais, pointing at the young 10-year-old Naruto on the ground, but nobody answered him. "Answer me, does he look like a demon to you?" he yelled again, walking toward the group, but still no one answered. "Then why the hell were you demons trying to kill him?" he yelled, walking back toward Naruto. "He killed our hero," yelled one of the civilians on the ground. "Don't you dare call my student your hero, because if he was really your hero you would respect his wish of seeing this young boy as a hero for holding that thing," yelled Jiraiya, focusing the killing intent only on the man. "Are you all right, Gaki?" asked Jiraiya, smiling at the crying young boy. "Yes, thank you, old man," said Naruto, wiping some of tears flowing down his cheeks. "The name's Jiraiya, Gaki," said Jiraiya, ruffling the boy's yellow hair. "Let's go pay a little visit to the Hokage now," Jiraiya said with a smile. "Gigi, I don't want the old man to see me like this," said Naruto, trying to clean his clothes. "Why is that?" asked Jiraiya, raising an eyebrow. "Because he's going to ask me what happened and I don't want him to worry about me," answered Naruto, looking at the old man. "Let's go," said Jiraiya, smiling at the young boy. Jiraiya was now walking toward the Hokage tower with Naruto besides him. He looked around and saw all the dirty looks that were being sent toward the young boy. Jiraiya was getting angrier by the second when he saw how the people treated the young boy. He walked inside the tower without even looking at the secretary and walked straight in the office. Sarutobi was getting ready for what was about to happen since he saw what Jiraiya was mad about with his crystal ball. Jiraiya told Naruto to wait outside while he had a word with Sarutobi for a moment. "What the hell, sensei? I come back and the kid was about to get killed by a group of shinobis and civilians," yelled Jiraiya, looking at the old man. "What, you wouldn't happen to know their faces, right?" asked Sarutobi softly, calling in 3 of his Umbu members. I killed the 5 Chunin that was in the group and the rest is on the ground in the middle of the street, said Jiraiya, smiling at the old man. The Umbus immediately went to find the rest of the group that was trying to kill the young boy. So how long you here for, asked Sarutobi, looking his former student. About a year, before I have to check on my spy network, said Jiraiya, still looking at the old man angrily. What do you plan to do with Naruto, asked Sarutobi, smiling at his student. Train him and look after him. I can't believe Minato trusted these fools with his only son, said Jiraiya, angry at the last part. They'll see. I'll turn him into a legend, yelled Jiraiya, striking a pose. Sarutobi sweat-dropped at the pose. Where is Naruto, asked the old Hokage, looking at his student. Hey Gaki, come in here, Jiraiya called Naruto in the office. The yellow head ran in the office and jumped on Sarutobi's lap. Okay, where do you live, Naruto, asked Jiraiya, looking at the young version of his late student. In the orphanage, of course, said Sarutobi, looking at Naruto, who just put his head down. Gramps, they kicked me out of the orphanage 2 weeks ago. I've been living in the forest since then, said Naruto, crying. What, yelled Sarutobi and Jiraiya at the same time, with their killing intent rising through the roof, which had everybody 5 blocks from the Hokage tower frozen. They did what, yelled Sarutobi, looking at the young boy, angry. Bear, please take whoever is in charge of the orphanage to Ibiki for me, said Sarutobi to the masked man in front of him. Hi, Hokage-sama, said the Umbu member, disappearing in a swirl of leaves. Sensei, please give me the keys, I'll leave the rest to you, said Jiraiya, looking at the old man. Jiraiya walked out of the office with Naruto following him close behind him. They walked for a few minutes until they made it to a big compound next to the Hyuga compound. Jiraiya opened the big gates and they walked in. The inside looked like a little village itself, with a big house in the front and a bunch of other houses not as big as the main one down the street. There was some training grounds in the back of the compound, but they were going to use them the next day. Jiraiya and Naruto walked inside the main house and it was filled with dirt and dust from 10 years without any cleaning. Jiraiya decided that they would clean it the next day since it was really getting late for that. Jiraiya went to sleep inside the main house for the night, but he had his own house in the compound which he used to use when Minato was still alive. The next day, Naruto woke up and took a shower with some hot water for a change, since when he was in the orphanage they used to turn off the hot water when it was time for him to bathe. Jiraiya was still in bed when woke up, but when Naruto finished taking a shower, Jiraiya walked down the stairs and saw Naruto with an orange jumpsuit on, ready to go to school. He walked up and stood behind him looking at the jumpsuit. Why do you wear this, asked Jiraiya, looking at the young kid. That's all the store owner would sell me, said Naruto, looking down. Jiraiya looked at his again and took out something from his scroll. Take your shirt off, Gaki, said Jiraiya, looking at the boy. Naruto took off his jacket and Jiraiya looked at his body, laughing. Do you ever work out, Gaki, said Jiraiya, laughing. No, said Naruto, looking at the man. Jiraiya put a seal on his chest, looked at him. What is this, asked Naruto, looking at the man. It's a gravity seal. It's meant to make you stronger and faster, said Jiraiya, looking at his godson, smiling. Naruto started walking, but he felt his body heavy as fuck, so he couldn't move like he normally did. My body feels heavier than usual, said Naruto, confused. You'll get used to it. Now hurry up and get to school. Don't take shit from anyone, said Jiraiya, walking back upstairs. Don't tell anyone about me or the gravity seal, said Jiraiya, looking at the spiky head kid. Naruto walked out the compound, walking slowly toward the ramen stand before going to the academy. Naruto made it to the ramen shop in about 5 minutes when it usually took him 2 minutes to get there. Along the way the villagers were glaring at him, calling him names, so he started trying to walk faster to get used to the weights faster. Naruto ran to the academy as fast as he could, but he was still 10 minutes late. He opened the door to his class and saw everybody laughing at him. Naruto, you're late, yelled Iruka, looking at the young boy. It's not my fault, said Naruto, going to the back of the class where Shikamaru, Choji and Kiba sat. He walked by Sasuke's desk and Sakura put one leg out and tripped him, making everyone laugh at the boy. He made it to the back of the class and sat down beside Shikamaru, who was sleeping, and Choji, who was eating his chips loudly. He tried to pay attention to the class, but it was getting very boring to him. So like Shikamaru, he fell asleep as soon as he did. Iruka walked up to their desk and woke them up with his scary head jutsu. Naruto woke up and Shikamaru did the same, so they started talking about the class. It was time for the taijutsu and throwing practice outside. Naruto, you will go up against Sakura in the taijutsu practice, smirked Mizuki. I don't want to fight Sakura. I love her, thought Naruto. Cha. Easy win, yelled Sakura, looking at Sasuke with hearts in her eyes. Sakura got in the academy style and Naruto got in the style that Mizuki taught him and just stood there waiting for Sakura to attack him. He still couldn't move at his usual speed since he was carrying half his weight in the seal. Mizuki saw that Naruto got in the style that he taught him and was laughing, even though he didn't let anyone see him laughing. Go, said Mizuki, smirking at the yellow head. Sakura ran toward him with a pretty pathetic speed and punched him in the nose, getting the head start. Naruto held his now bleeding nose, though it was not easy for him to even move his hand, since Naruto couldn't really move all that fast yet. That's for annoying me, asking me to go out with you, said Sakura, punching him in the face once again. He fell to the ground. But Sakura-chan, what did I ever do to you, said Naruto, looking at the girl, and Sakura kicked him while he was on the ground. He tried to move out the way, but with no success. She kept punching him in the face, and his face started to get swollen. Naruto got up and tried to punch her, but he still couldn't move his muscle all that good. So she punched him again, and he fell to the ground once again. Naruto got up and continued to fight, even though he couldn't attack or defend himself from the assault. That's for not respecting Sasuke-kun, yelled Sakura before she kicked him in the stomach. She was about to continue her assault, but Iruka stopped the match. Winner Hirono, Sakura, said Iruka, raising the girl's hand, and all the guys started laughing at Naruto, and so did the girls. Naruto, why can't you move, asked Iruka, looking at the blonde. I can't tell you, Iruka-sensei, said Naruto, getting up from the ground. Why not, asked Iruka, looking at the boy. I just can't. Leave it at that, said Naruto, walking away from the man. The class went back inside, with Naruto staying back. As soon as everyone went back inside, he left, and went home. He walked down the streets with his body all bruised up, and the people were cheering seeing him hurt like that. He wanted to get home faster, but the gravitation seal was slowing him down, so he had to listen to every insult said to him, and everything that they threw at him he had to take it since his body was so heavy. Where is Naruto, asked Iruka, looking around the class. I kicked his butt, so he left the academy for good, laughed Sakura, and the whole class started laughing except for Hinata, Shikamaru, and Choji. Something is wrong with Naruto, said Shikamaru to his best friend Choji. Yeah, he was usually faster from anyone here, since he always used to pull all those pranks, said Choji, still eating. I'm sure he'll tell us tomorrow, said Shikamaru, going to sleep. Naruto got home and saw the house clean, with Jiraiya sitting by the kitchen eating some rice and vegetable that he made. Naruto walked in with his clothes dirty with blood and dirt on them. Jiraiya looked at him for a few minutes before asking, what happened to you? I was in a taijutsu match in my class and I lost, said Naruto, putting his head down. Was it the seal, asked Jiraiya, looking at him. Yes, and the fact that I don't know any taijutsu, said Naruto, ashamed. Didn't they teach you anything in the academy, asked Jiraiya, looking at him. Iruka-sensei used to help me, then Mizuki-sensei decided to teach, but I did everything he taught me one time and I almost hurt myself, said Naruto, looking at the old man in front of him. He sabotaged the boy's learning, thought Jiraiya, angry. I guess I'll get you caught up, said Jiraiya, looking at the yellow-head boy. Run around the compound until you can't feel anything, said Jiraiya, smirking. Naruto did as his new sensei told him and started running. He ran around the compound 5 times and he couldn't feel his legs, so he just collapsed to the ground. It was late when he finished running, so Jiraiya took him inside and made him something to eat. Naruto ate his food and went upstairs to take a shower. He just stood under the hot water without moving a muscle until he felt clean. Jiraiya was making a schedule for his new training session in the compound. He was only going to work on physical and chakra control stuff for the next week to get caught up to the other kids in the academy. 6 to 9 a.m. physical workout, 10 to 12 speed training, 1-2 p.m. target practice, 3-7 chakra control. Next day for taijutsu practice. The next day, Naruto woke up at 5 in the morning and started stretching to start his day. When Jiraiya told him that he wasn't going to go to the academy for a week to catch up with the other kids, he got really excited. As soon as it turned 6, Naruto started doing push-ups. When he finished, he started doing some sit-ups, then some pull-ups until it was his break time. His body felt numb, so he went inside to get something to eat. He spent his break time in the house eating. When it turned 10, he ran outside and started running around the compound for his speed training. The academy? Where the hell is Naruto, said Iruka, looking around the class. I told I beat his butt, and he left the academy, said Sakura proudly. I was awesome, right, Sasuke-kun, said Sakura, waiting for a positive comment from her love. You are pathetic and Naruto is pathetic, said Sasuke in his usual Uchiha's better mood. But Sasuke-kun, pleaded Sakura, looking hurt at the comment. Troublesome. Can't you see that Naruto couldn't even move in the fight, said Shikamaru, going back to sleep. Now that you say that, he really couldn't move his body, said Kiba, looking at Iruka. I'm still better than him. I would still beat that baka, yelled Sakura, glaring at Kiba. Whatever, said Kiba, and Akamaru just barked. Shut up, yelled Iruka, using his big scary head jutsu. Sakura looked at Sasuke, hurt because the Uchiha boy wouldn't even spare a glance at her. Ino was of course happy that her Sasuke-kun wasn't looking at Sakura, but she was also hurt since he wasn't looking at her either. Naruto finished running around the compound and felt his body get lighter from when he started running. He went inside and opened a few instant ramen cups for lunch. After eating, he went back outside and walked to another training ground which had some practice dummy. He started with his target practice. Being exhausted physically and mentally after the speed and target training, he took a small break just to let his body cool down. After more than 20 minutes, and having regaining some of his chakra, Naruto made his way toward the tree, close to the little lake that was next to the training ground, and he started walking on top of the tree. Difficult in the beginning, but after an hour of falling on his butt, finally started to get the hang of it. Proud of his new accomplishment, he stared to jump around but lose some of his concentration and fell down the tree straight on his butt. Naruto got up and walked up the tree once again, this time with no problem. Naruto and Jiraiya went inside after he finished the day's training, and they sat, ate, and laughed as they enjoyed lunch. Naruto was starting to see Jiraiya as the family that he never had since the man took his time to teach him. As they laughed, Jiraiya could not help but see himself in the young Naruto. He had never been a natural genius like Orochimaru or great chakra control expert like Tsunade. Jiraiya's skills was that he able to adapt in the heat of battle, and he could learn most ninjutsu through hard work and determination. However, this was not to say that he did not have incredible talents himself, as he did have a talent for seals that did shock his team. Since it was considered such a high-level skill, most were surprised at how Jiraiya could pick it up so easily. Jiraiya saw that potential in Naruto as a shinobi. He may not be a great seal master, but he would work till he could do whatever was being asked of him. Jiraiya was starting to love the boy like he did his late student, and he didn't even know him long yet. This was his godson, even though he didn't tell Naruto that yet. He was definitely sad that he had not been able to save Naruto from his childhood, knowing that Sarutobi had doomed him to a life of suffering by refusing to let Naruto be adopted by Jiraiya. The greatest shame that Jiraiya dealt with was not being able to defend his godson from those attackers and haters in the village in the first few years of his life. He prayed Kami would have mercy on his soul, or when he found his student's wife in heaven, he could look her in the eye and explain why Naruto was left to the horrible fate that he suffered as a child. He could not replace Naruto's past, but he would work to ensure that the Naruto would be able to achieve whatever he wanted to be like his dad. He would be the greatest Hokage, and by sheer force of will, he would make the world acknowledge him. This could be the only gift that Jiraiya could leave Naruto to make up for failing him as a child. With that final thought, the next morning Naruto woke, took a shower, stretched, and started doing his physical workout. After doing his physical workout, Naruto started running around the compound for his speed training after Jiraiya increased the gravity by 10%. After the speed training, Naruto began his taijutsu training with Jiraiya. He was substituting the target practice and chakra control portion of his training with taijutsu training as Jiraiya had told him. Jiraiya created a clone so that Naruto could spar with after he taught him the fox style. Jiraiya was the teacher who explained the katas of the fox style to the boy, and the clone was used as a sparring partner to allow Naruto to learn the motions of the style. Initially, the constant need to keep his fist up to protect his body and to block attacks was very foreign to Naruto, who was taught the wrong way to fight at the academy. However, Jiraiya explained how this often left Naruto open to blows to his head area. By keeping his guard up, he reduced the openings. Additionally, the use of deflections and guiding the punches was extremely foreign. However, Naruto could see how effective it was. It was not about overpowering the fist or blow of the other person, but simply to deflect the energy away from the body. Every hand or fist was still connected to the wrist, so by attacking this joint you could force the fist away from the body. The style was to use the body and the user's speed to stop, dodge, or deflect attacks. As they trained, the use of leg strikes to keep the opponent away from coming in close to the body was also very helpful. He had never thought about how his legs being a primary weapon, as Mizuki always told him to keep an opening to keep the opponent away. However, the fox style used leg strikes, a lot of flips, and constant movement to overpower the enemy and viciousness like an animal to attack. They would strike the opponent's body from head to toe. Hours of using his legs in such manner only increased the fatigue that Naruto felt from the gravity seals. Jiraiya made him repetitively strike a pole that was in the middle of the training ground to increase his leg power and harden his bones. Naruto also worked on being able to anticipate blows from his enemies by simply doing some back flips and twists in the air for momentum. Jiraiya assaulted Naruto by kicking him or punching him, and the demon fox container would only be able to dodge, deflect, and block the attack without fighting back. Jiraiya was doing this to increase the boy's reflexes, making him able to act fast in case of an attack. Naruto worked on this program the entire morning, and was glad when it finally got dark so he could get some lunch before going back to practice again. He sat down with his aching legs. Man, I did not know my legs could hurt so much after all the training that we have been through. Naruto, you need to cancel the gravity seal when using this style because as you saw it requires fast movement, explained Jiraiya looking at the boy. Okay, said Naruto looking at his new sensei smiling. Naruto, do not show off your skills for no reason. Only show your skills when you're in a fight, said Jiraiya looking at him serious. Okay, I never planned to, said Naruto smiling at his sensei. Get some rest, tomorrow will not be easy, said Jiraiya smirking. The next day, Naruto woke up and stretched getting ready for the day. It turned 6, and he took off his jacket staying in only his pants, and he started with his physical workout training, doing some push-ups, then some sit-ups, and after that some pull-ups. After the 3 hours were over, Naruto went inside to get something to eat. When he got in the house there was nothing in the kitchen, so he decided to go to Ichiraku to get breakfast. Naruto got 10 bowls of ramen for himself and his sensei, and went back home making sure that no one followed him so that they wouldn't know where he lived. He wanted to make sure that no one knew where he lived because then they would mess up his sensei's house because of him. He was grateful that Jiraiya decided to help him improve his skills, so he didn't want anything to happen to the man because of him. Naruto made it to the house with the food that he just bought for himself and his sensei. Naruto ate the food with his sensei and went back to work doing the speed training for 2 hours before he got another break. The same thing went on until it was time for him to go to sleep. A week later, Naruto got ready to do his speed and physical training before working on his taijutsu for the rest of the day. His throwing accuracy was perfect since every night when Jiraiya fell asleep he would get up to practice it with some chakra control exercise. His control was average since his reserve was so massive. Jiraiya told him he would show some more control exercises later on after he mastered the tree climbing and the taijutsu style. Naruto, since you know the katas to the style, you'll get used to it while using it until you can completely master it. It's the perfect style against every other styles in the village, said Jiraiya looking at his sensei. How is that, sensei, said Naruto confused. Let me explain the other styles to you, said Jiraiya looking at him. First, the Uchiha style is based on anticipation using the Sharingan. With their ability to anticipate, they can respond accordingly. Since we're working on your speed and power of faking an opponent out at high speeds, then we can maybe use the anticipation style of the Sharingan against it. At that highest speed, the Sharingan user may fall for the initial attack because their body is trained to anticipate the strike. If we remove the time to adjust, they will instinctively follow the initial attack path to block. This could leave them open to attack when the attack is redirected too quickly for them to adjust. And since your style uses fast movement, and has no exact pattern, it's perfect against them, said Jiraiya, taking a pause after that long explanation. Secondly, the Hyuga style relies on attacking chakra points using their hands with minimal emphasis on the feet. If we can focus your hand work to quick attacks and defensive maneuver like deflection, and all those other animal-like maneuvers, then you can work on countering their attacks. Also, while blocking their attacks you can possibly use your elbow or feet as weapons to strike back while engaging their hand-based attacks. Also, the style will improve your avoidance by teaching you to swivel your hips, jump back, or roll away, flip back, and ducking in front of your opponent. As we progress, you will instinctively be more prepared to deal with their blows with deflection, said Jiraiya looking at his student who was paying close attention to the explanation. Third, Guy's style relies on strength with fist and feet. It also involves lots of aerial moves. However, the Fox style teaches you to avoid blows with low ground work, which will make their high-flying moves useless. Since they also use high speed, it will be a little harder to fight against. These areas are traditionally harder and sharper, which could inflict damage on the opponent. For example, if you use quick jabs to slow down the attacker punches, or you kick the inside of an enemy's leg to force them to jump back or prevent high-flying kicks, then they will have to adjust. Explained Jiraiya, thinking about the styles one by one. Additionally, your style will give you great striking power with your leg, which will also keep your enemy back. Your legs will always be your strongest muscle, and it has the greatest reach, so focusing attacks from there only increases your attacking power. Also, by not staying close to your opponent, the chances of them landing a hit on you will decrease, explained Jiraiya, which had Naruto jumping around yelling how awesome he was. Do you understand that if you can at least stand toe-to-toe with these great taijutsu styles, then you will be able to battle any person? Asked Jiraiya looking at the boy. I will take care of him, Minato thought Jiraiya looking at the boy. Naruto, today we're going to do another type of exercise, said Jiraiya smirking. What is it? Some awesome fire jutsu or something, said Naruto jumping around. No, you're going to meditate, smirked Jiraiya looking at the boy. How is that going to help me? Asked Naruto looking at his sensei, totally confused. It'll calm you down, and increase your ability to sense other people, and your reflexes, and it increases your control over your chakra system, said Jiraiya looking at him. Okay, then what do I do? Asked Naruto looking at his sensei. Just sit still and clear your mind of everything, said Jiraiya, showing him the sitting position. Naruto got in the position and proceeded to clear his mind of everything. Academy. Iruka started looking around, but he still couldn't see where Naruto was. The previous day he looked all around the village looking for the kid. He went to the orphanage, but they told him that the people who used to be in charge got arrested for kicking a kid out of the orphanage, and he knew that it had to be Naruto. Today if Naruto didn't show up to the academy he would report it to the Hokage again. Has anyone seen Naruto in the past week? Asked Iruka looking at the kids. No, said Shikamaru going back to sleep. Shikamaru, wake your lazy self up, yelled Iruka with his big scary head jutsu. I'm sure he's alright, said Choji looking at Shikamaru eating his potato chips. Who cares, everyone has been happy with him not being here pulling pranks in class, annoying me, asking me out. Isn't that right, Sasuke-kun, said Sakura with hearts in her eyes at the last part. I wish she wasn't here right now. You even worse than Naruto, said Sasuke without even looking at her. Sakura started crying at the comment, and everyone started laughing at the big forehead girl. Ino was the first one who started laughing, and Sakura and Ino broke out fighting over the Uchiha once again. The boys just sat back watching the fight unfold. Ino and Sakura would always fight over the Uchiha using insults. The boys wanted to see some face smashing, but they never fought like that. I'll have to report this to the Hokage, said Iruka leaving the class, leaving Mizuki in charge for the day. Hokage Tower. Iruka walked in the office and saw Sarutobi reading some papers from missions that just came in. Sarutobi looked up from the papers and saw Iruka standing in front of him, worried out his mind, and he already knew what this was about. Hokage-sama, Naruto has not showed up to school for the past week, said Iruka worriedly. Don't worry, Iruka. I know where Naruto is, said Sarutobi smiling. Is he alright? Asked Iruka quickly. Yes, he's in good hand. Seems like some teacher at the academy has been teaching the wrong thing on purpose. So he's trying to catch up to the other kids, said Sarutobi looking at the young teacher. If you say he's okay, I guess I have to go back to the academy, bowed Iruka before leaving the office. Iruka's body flickered back to the academy, and saw all the students just standing around like it was nothing. Naruto's mindscape. Naruto started doing the meditation exercise, and woke up finding himself in a sewer-like place with water ankle deep in the sewer. He looked down the hallway and saw a bunch of little corridors leading to different places. He heard a deep voice at the end of the sewer. Naruto followed the voice through the sewer, and found himself in front of a big gate with a seal in the middle of the gate. Hello, is anyone here? Asked Naruto a little scared. Who is this? Said the QB looking at the little boy in front of the gates. Who said that? Where am I? Said Naruto backing up a little away from the gates. It's me, the great and powerful QB no Yuko, said the QB in a deep and proud voice. KKQB, stuttered Naruto looking terrified. Yes, kid, don't make me repeat myself, said the fox looking at the kid. Where am I? Am I dead? Asked Naruto shaking. No, you're not dead, kid. You're in your mind, said the fox looking at the kid laughing. What are you doing in my mind then? Asked Naruto looking at the fox still terrified. I'm sealed within you, so I live in your mind, said the fox seriously. Naruto quickly wake up in the real world with a terrified look on his face. Jiraiya looked at him, and already knew what this was about. Jiraiya walked up to him, and sat down beside his godson. Naruto was shaking, looking terrified at his sensei. Sensei, I just had the craziest dream. I woke up in a sewer and saw the nine-tailed fox, and he said that he was sealed in me, so he lives in my mind, explained Naruto, calming down, looking at his sensei, hoping that it was just a dream. Actually, kid, that wasn't a dream, said Jiraiya, scratching the back of his head. What? Yelled Naruto, pausing to calm down. So, I am a demon like everyone said I was, said Naruto, starting to cry, before he felt a little lump on his head getting hit by Jiraiya over the head. You are not a demon, you hear me, said Jiraiya looking at the kid with a serious face. You have to go back in your mindscape. I'll explain everything to you later, said Jiraiya looking at him. Just trust me, said Jiraiya when he saw Naruto doubting to go back. Naruto got in the same meditating position and found himself in the sewer-like place once again. He walked the same way to find himself in front of the big gates once again. Naruto looked inside and saw the QB's head in front of the gates. He was still scared, but this time he wasn't shaking as much as before. You're back, said QB, said looking at the boy. You say this, my mind, why does it look like this? Asked Naruto looking around. Because unlike your outside appearance, you're pretty sad and angry, said QB looking at him. I'm sorry, kid. If I was never tricked into attacking your village, your life would have never been like this, said QB looking at Naruto. What do you mean trick? Said Naruto confused. I never had anything with this village. Why would I just wake up one day and attack it? I was put under a genjutsu by a man named Uchiha Madara to attack this village for him, since he couldn't do it himself with the fourth round and Jiraiya of the Sannin, and even Sarutobi Hiruzen around. So he put me under a powerful genjutsu which put me in a rage stage to attack the village, explained the fox, remembering what happened. Did you say Uchiha? Asked Naruto, remembering that the Uchihas lived in this village. Yes, kid, I'm sorry for messing up your life, kid, said the fox truthfully. It's okay. I guess now that I know it wasn't your fault, is there anything I can do to make this place better, said Naruto crying, looking around the sewer. You can make this place a little more nice, said QB looking around. Just concentrate and make this place like a forest or something, said Kyubi, looking around. Naruto concentrated and started thinking happy things that happened in his life, like being with Gramps and meeting Jiraiya-sensei. After 5 minutes the water that was on the ground disappeared and inside the cage turned into a big green forest with a lot of big trees. There was a lake besides the forest flowing peaceful, and Naruto opened his eyes. He looked around and saw his work, so he smiled looking around. Thank you, but let me ask you a question, said Kyubi looking at the kid. What is it? Asked Naruto looking at his tenant. Why do you continue to follow that pink-haired genin even though all she does is humiliate you? Asked the Kyubi. I don't know, I love her I guess, said Naruto confused at the question. Do you think she loves you back? Asked the Kyubi. I don't know, maybe she will one day, said Naruto, thinking about all the times that he asked Sakura out, and she just hit him on the head, or humiliate him in front of the whole class. Naruto started walking around his mind to see his memories. He saw all the times that people cursed at him or beat him just for walking by their store. He saw all the times that Sakura just humiliated him, making him feel worthless when he was just trying to help. He kept walking around and saw his friends Kiba, Choji, and Shikamaru in class talking. He saw Iruka helping him in class, and then he saw the Hokage comforting him in his office. And finally Jiraiya coming along to save his life. At the end of the hallway he saw a seal on a door. He tried to get access to the door but he couldn't, so he decided to tell Jiraiya about it. Naruto found himself once again in the real world and saw Jiraiya with a thing in his hand looking over the wall into the next compound. Jiraiya while looking in the Hyuga compound at some women bathing. What are you doing, sensei? Asked Naruto looking straight at his sensei. No, nothing kid, how was it? Said Jiraiya looking at him, putting the telescope away in his jacket. I started walking around until I saw a door sealed and I couldn't open it, explained Naruto looking at his sensei. They probably sealed some of his abilities, thought Jiraiya. Go back to your mindscape, said Jiraiya, doing some hand seals. Naruto closed his eyes and found himself in his mindscape again, but this time Jiraiya was standing beside him. Where is that door, kid? Asked Jiraiya looking around. Follow me, said Naruto, guiding Jiraiya to the door. Jiraiya found himself standing in front of a door titled Body. He did some quick hand seals and Naruto grew 2 inches in front of him, and his hair grew to reach his shoulder, and got even more messy than it was before. They walked in the door and Jiraiya saw another door with brain on top of it. He unsealed the door and continued walking around, seeing a door with muscle on it. He unsealed it, walked out the room. They went back to the real world and Jiraiya stood in front of Naruto looking serious. How do you feel? Asked Jiraiya looking at the kid. Like something just in my head, and more power is flowing through my body, explained Naruto looking around. And my body feel light, said Naruto looking around. Run around the compound one time, said Jiraiya looking at his carefully. Naruto started running with the gravitation seal still on him, and he could run around the compound in half the time that he usually did, which surprised him and Jiraiya. They put seal on him, limiting his abilities, thought Jiraiya with his face full of anger. I knew it, he got the Namikaze speed ability, thought Jiraiya smiling. Stop, Naruto, said Jiraiya smiling at the kid. I'm going to teach you another chakra control exercise before I teach you a jutsu, said Jiraiya smiling. What is it? Asked Naruto looking at his sensei laughing. Let's go by the little lake that was made in the back, said Jiraiya walking toward the back of the compound. Naruto followed him, walking slowly with his hands behind his head. They made it to the lake and Jiraiya started walking on the water to demonstrate the exercise to him. Naruto jumped in the water, exited and fell in the cold water. He jumped out of the water shaking since the water was extremely cold after Jiraiya had put a seal on it the previous night. Why the hell is this water so cold? Yelled Naruto glaring at his sensei. My bad, I forgot to tell you that it was cold, grinned Jiraiya. Now start walking on the water, just channel the right amount of chakra to the bottom of your feet like the tree climbing exercise, said Jiraiya laughing. Naruto got on the water and flowed the chakra to the bottom of his feet, and he started walking on the water. He kept adjusting the chakra to put at the bottom of his feet to not fall in the water when the cold waves made it around. Naruto got out the water with a big grin on his face and walked toward his sensei. When he made it to the spot he saw Jiraiya standing there waiting for him. As soon as he arrived Jiraiya did some hand seals and said Kichios no Jutsu summoning jutsu, and summoned a human-height toad. Naruto jumped back looking at the toad since it just appeared out of nowhere. Hello Jiraiya-sama, what can I do for you? Asked the toad politely. Hey Gamaki, I need the contract, said Jiraiya to the toad. Taking on a new apprentice? Asked the toad before opening his mouth, and a big scroll came out with his tongue. Yes, said Jiraiya looking at the toad smiling. Naruto, this is Gamaki, the contract holder for the toads. Gamaki, this is Naruto, the kid with the QB sealed in him, said Jiraiya scratching the back of his head. Hello Naruto-san, said Gamaki looking at the kid. What's up Gamaki-san, said Naruto scratching the back of his head. Okay, Gaki, now with the jutsu I said I was going to teach you. Sign your name in blood in the scroll while I explain it to you, said Jiraiya, pointing at the spot next to Minato's name. Naruto bit his thumb for some blood and wrote his name on it before signing at the bottom. Why was there only 2 names on it if it's a jutsu? Asked Naruto, confused. It's a powerful jutsu, and I was the first one to sign it, and I get to choose who I pass it to. It's the summoning contract to summon toads in battle. I taught it to my last student, and now I'm going to teach it to you, explained Jiraiya, looking at his student. So you was the 4th sensei, since he was the only one who could summon toads before, said Naruto, looking at Jiraiya. He's smarter now, must be the seal that I removed from his brain, allowing him to think better, thought Jiraiya, smiling. Yes, I did train the 4th Hokage. That's a story for another time. Now here are the hand seals for the jutsu, said Jiraiya, showing him the hand seals to perform the jutsu. Naruto did the exact hand seals that Jiraiya just showed him and said Kichios no Jutsu, summoning jutsu, and a little orange toad with a blue jacket appeared in front of him. Who the hell are you, kid? Asked the little toad, looking at the yellow-head kid. My name is Naruto Uzumaki. Who are you? Said Naruto, looking at the little toad. My name is Gamakichi. What do you want? Said Gamakichi, looking at the yellow-head boy. I was just trying out this jutsu, brat, yelled Naruto, glaring at the little toad. Did you bring any snack? Yelled Gamakichi, looking at the boy. No, I didn't know I need any, said Naruto, looking at Jiraiya. Next time bring some snacks before summoning me, said Gamakichi, disappearing a puff of smokes. Jiraiya looked surprised at the kid for being able to summon the son of the boss toad on his first try. He smiled, seeing the boy coming along better than he expected. He thought he was going to have to throw him off a cliff for him to get the jutsu right for a minute. Naruto looked at his sensei proudly, and they went inside to get something to eat, before continuing the day's training. Naruto was still thinking about what the fox told him in his mind, so he decided to tell his sensei about it. Jiraiya saw the look on Naruto's face and decided to start the conversation. What's on your mind, Gaki? Asked Jiraiya, looking at him eating his food. In my conversation with Kyuubi, he told me that he was tricked into attacking the village by a man named Uchiha Madara. I thought the Uchihas were from Konoha. Why would he want to destroy the village? Asked Naruto, totally confused. Uchiha Madara. I knew the fox wouldn't just attack the village for no reason, thought Jiraiya, thinking over the situation. Naruto, what the fox told you is probably the truth. Before there is a legendary version of the Sharingan that is said to be able to control the tailed demons, said Jiraiya, looking at the kid seriously. Who is this Uchiha Madara? He must be very powerful to be able to control a tailed demon, said Naruto, looking at his sensei. Uchiha Madara was one of the founding fathers of the Hidden Leaf Village. He left the village because the first became Hokage and not him. I think the reason that he wants the village destroyed is because the other Uchihas did not leave with him, said Jiraiya, looking at his student seriously. So that's the problem. Do you think he's still alive? Asked Naruto, looking at his sensei in worry. I think so, kid. Not many people knows he's still alive, said Kyuubi through the mind link they had. Naruto, with the kind of things that will happen in the future, I want you at least to have a childhood that you can remember. You're going back to the academy tomorrow. Just make sure you act normal. Come up with some kind of excuse to why you wasn't in school. Do you have any friends in the academy? Said Jiraiya, looking at the kid. Yeah, I got Shikamaru, Choji, Kiba, and Shino, but he's usually very quiet, said Naruto, thinking about all the people who was nice to him. Oh, and there's Hinata. She usually faint when I talk to her though, explained Naruto, thinking about the girl. Seems like that girl has a crush on you though, Jiraiya, smiling at the boy. Naruto, since most thing that will happen might involve this village in some way in the future, I want you to enjoy the rest of your childhood with those you hold dear. I'll be making you a new training schedule for the time you're in the academy, said Jiraiya, taking out something to write with. He started writing the new training schedule for his godson. Jiraiya finished the schedule and handed it to Naruto so he could read it over. Monday, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. physical workout. 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. eat, head to school. 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. academy. 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. lunch. 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. friends. 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. meditate on Hokage Mountain. 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. taijutsu practice and speed training. Tuesday, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. physical workout. 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. eat, head to school. 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. academy. 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. lunch. 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. friends. 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. summoning training. 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. taijutsu practice and speed training. Wednesday, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. physical workout. 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. eat, head to school. 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. academy. 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. lunch. 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. friends. 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. chakra control. 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. taijutsu practice and speed training. Thursday, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. physical workout. 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. eat, head to school. 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. academy. 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. lunch. 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. friends. 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. meditate on Hokage Mountain. 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. taijutsu and speed training. Friday, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. physical workout. 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. eat, head to school. 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. academy. 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. lunch. 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. friends. 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. summoning training. 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. meditate. Saturday, whole day free to whatever you want to do. Sunday, seals training, taijutsu training, strength training, chakra control, meditation. Naruto finished reading the new schedule and closed the scroll and put it in his pocket so that he could look at it from time to time. Jiraiya looked at him and smiled, seeing so much of Minato and himself in the boy at the same time, a natural genius and at the same time an idiot. They met only a short time ago, but Naruto and Jiraiya were really bonding with each other on a family level. Jiraiya decided that tonight was the night that he would tell Naruto about him being his godfather. He still couldn't tell the boy about his father yet, since it was a law in the village, but with him being in the house he will definitely find out by himself since his father lived in the house. Naruto, you start with the schedule tomorrow, which is Tuesday, said Jiraiya, smiling at him. I finally get to see Shikamaru and Choji again. And I can't forget Sakura-chan, laughed Naruto, thinking about the pink-haired girl in his class. I'm not even going to tell. He should find out for himself that the girl is a evil bitch, thought Kyuubi, thinking about all the times he had to heal Naruto from Sakura's blows. Naruto, I have something to tell you, said Jiraiya with a serious look on his face. What is it, sensei, said Naruto, seeing the look on his sensei's face. I can't tell you about your parents until you reach a certain, or find out by yourself, because it's a law in this village. We wouldn't want people finding out who your parents were, since they had a lot of very powerful enemies that you are not ready for yet, said Jiraiya, looking at him sadly. I understand that, because Gramps would have told me by now, but they must have been very powerful to have enemies that would go after their kids, said Naruto, thinking what Jiraiya told him over. Yeah, and I was a personal friend, that's why they made me your godfather, said Jiraiya, looking at him with a smile. You my godfather, where the hell have you been all this time then, asked Naruto with anger clearly in his voice. I wasn't done, said Jiraiya sadly. When you were born, I tried to adopt you, sensei said. Yes, but the council bastards wouldn't let me, saying that I was the village's only spy master, that I couldn't stay in the village to raise you. When you were 5 I tried to adopt you again, but they still wouldn't let, and sensei said that he would make sure that you were alright. I would have left the village with you, but since you have the fox sealed in you, they made sure that you couldn't leave the village, and if you traveled with me we both would have died, since I had to fight a lot of enemies, and I thought you would have had a better childhood in the village than with me, since I never stayed in the same place for more than a few weeks, explained Jiraiya with pain and regret in his eyes, looking at the boy. Naruto started crying, looking at his sensei, feeling guilty since he started yelling for no reason, which made his godfather really sad. I'm sorry, sensei. I didn't know, said Naruto, crying. It's okay, Gaki, said Jiraiya, looking at him. Get ready, we are going to the Hokage's office before we go buy groceries, said Jiraiya, getting up. Naruto went inside to take a shower so he could get ready to go to Gramps' office. After taking a shower, Naruto put his orange jumpsuit and came downstairs to see Jiraiya waiting for him. Jiraiya hated the jumpsuits so much that he wanted to burn them while the kids slept. He would make sure to buy him some new clothes while they were shopping. Naruto, why do you wear this jumpsuit if you really want to be a ninja, asked Jiraiya, looking at the boy's clothing style. Because that's all they would sell me, and the man made me pay a lot for this cool jumpsuit, and he sold it to me on a discount, said Naruto, looking at his sensei, laughing. How much did you pay for this exactly, said Jiraiya, raising an eyebrow. 600 ryo, said Naruto, laughing. Don't know currency. Do you know where this shop is, said Jiraiya with a grin. Yes, said Naruto, confused. Would you mind showing me later so that I can buy some clothes, said Jiraiya with a sinister smile on his face. Okay, said Naruto, a little scared by the look on his godfather's face. Naruto and Jiraiya walked out of the compound, heading for the Hokage's office first. Since they didn't have anything to do, they were walking very slowly. Naruto and Jiraiya passed in front of the Hyuga compound, since their compound was right next to the Hyuga's. Naruto had never been in this part of the village in his life since he didn't know it. Jiraiya decided to transform himself into an old man to see the people that be throwing stuff at Naruto and calling him names. A middle-aged lady threw a bottle at Naruto, but Naruto caught the bottle and 3 umbus appeared out of nowhere and arrested the lady for not following the third's law. They made it to the Hokage's office and they went in through the window like Jiraiya usually did, but that didn't bother Naruto since he never really knocked or waited to be called in the office. When they entered the office, Shikamaru was right there talking to the Hokage about the fact that Naruto wasn't in school. When Shikamaru saw Naruto enter the office with an old man behind him. So troublesome. I was just asking the Hokage if he's seen you, said Shikamaru with a bored expression on his face. Shikamaru, what's up, said Naruto as he rubbed the back of his head sheepishly. Where have you been, Naruto? Did you grow taller, asked Shikamaru, looking at him up and down. That's why I came here, sensei, said Jiraiya, looking at the old man. What is it, Jiraiya, asked Sarutobi, looking at him. Naruto, are you sure that this boy can hear this, said Jiraiya, looking at him. Of course, Shikamaru is one of my friends and he's trustworthy, said Naruto laughing. Wait, Naruto, you're hanging out with Jiraiya of the Sannin? Asked Shikamaru looking at Naruto shocked. It's a secret between me and you, right, Shikamaru, said Naruto looking at him laughing. Troublesome, but yes, said Shikamaru taking a seat. He's my godfather, laughed Naruto looking at the shocked boy. No way, said Naruto looking at him. Jiraiya did some hand seals and said sound seal and put a sound seal over the room so that no one would hear what they were saying except for the ones in the room. Sensei, the academy teachers has been teaching Naruto the wrong things on purpose, and there were 2 seals placed on him to limit his body and mind. There was one on his brain and one on his muscle, said Jiraiya looking at the old man. Did you find out who put them on him? Asked Sarutobi looking at his old student seriously. Why would someone do something like that to Naruto? Is it because of the pranks we used to pull in the academy? Said Naruto looking at the Toad Sage. No, it's not that they hate him for something he has no control over, said Sarutobi hoping the young boy would understand. Because of the fox, said Shikamaru, which surprised everyone in the room. How did you find out? Asked Naruto looking at the boy terrified. That time the lady was calling you a demon, and the marks on your face. Don't worry, I didn't even tell my parents. It's troublesome though, the village is kind of lucky since you still don't hate those people for what they do to you, said Shikamaru rubbing his head. I removed the seals and he grew a couple of inches right in front of me, and his mind kind of understands stuff better now. Don't get me wrong, he's still an idiot, said Jiraiya smirking, which had Naruto glaring at him. So, when do you go back to the academy? It's not the same without your pranks. It's such a drag, you know, said Shikamaru looking at him. Why the hell is everything a drag to you, Shikamaru? Asked Naruto laughing. Because everything is, said Shikamaru looking at his friend. I go back tomorrow, said Naruto with a grin. I'll be waiting for you. I got to go home because my mom will kill me if I'm late for dinner. She's such a drag, said Shikamaru opening the door after Jiraiya dropped the sound seal. Good kid, said Jiraiya looking at his sensei. So, Naruto, how is it going? Asked Sarutobi looking at the boy. I'm okay, Gramps. Did you miss me? Said Naruto laughing and looking at the old man. Of course, those paperworks were boring me to death, said Sarutobi laughing. Wait till I become Hokage, old man, said Naruto looking at him. Naruto, let's go. We have to go to the store to get you some clothes, since these clothes are already too small for you, said Jiraiya walking toward the window. I'll see you later, Gramps, said Naruto waving his hand to the old man and walking toward the window. They both jumped out the window and Naruto started guiding Jiraiya toward the store where he bought the jumpsuit. When they made it to the store, Jiraiya transformed himself into the smaller version of Naruto, and Naruto transformed himself into Shikamaru, and they walked in the store. Naruto picked up a black shinobi pants with many pockets and asked the man how much it was while he was still disguised as Shikamaru, and the man told him 200 ryo. Jiraiya picked up the orange jumpsuit and asked the man how much it was, and the man told him 700 ryo. Why is this 700 ryo while his pants is 200 ryo? Asked Jiraiya, still transformed into Naruto. Because he's not a dirt like you. You're lucky I'm willing to sell you anything, answered the man. Jiraiya dropped the transformation and Naruto did the same, and Jiraiya stood in front of the man releasing an insane amount of killing intent. Why do you take advantage of the boy like this? Asked Jiraiya looking at the man. I said the man looking in Jiraiya's eyes. Sensei, leave it alone, pleaded Naruto to his sensei. You see, even though you've been doing him wrong, he still don't want anything to happen to your miserable life, said Jiraiya still looking at the man. Said the man looking terrified. What if I decided to kill you for all you've done to him? Laughed Jiraiya looking at the man. And with that the store owner pissed on himself. Sensei, don't do that, said Naruto pleading to the man. Why? Asked Jiraiya still laughing. Because I'll give back all the extra money I made off of him, said the store owner opening his cash register. It's okay, really. I just need some clothes, said Naruto looking at the man. WH, what are you looking for? Said the man looking at the boy's innocent face. I need some orange pants, said Naruto smiling. Are you sure? Orange is not a color for ninjas, you know, said the man looking at him. Yeah, he needs some black pants and a black long-sleeved fishnet shirt to put under his shirt. A long-sleeved orange and black shirt, since he seems to like orange, said Jiraiya looking the boy over. Do you need any sandals? Asked the store owner looking at them. Yeah, some black ones to match his pants, said Jiraiya looking at the store owner. How many sets do you want of the clothes? Asked the store owner. I'll take 5 since he's still growing and they will get messed up anyhow, said Jiraiya smirking. Let me take his measurements for the shirts and I'll give you the fishnet shirts, the pants, and the sandals. You can pick up the shirts in about 2 hours, said the store owner taking Naruto's measurement. After taking his measurements he handed them the pants with some white bandages, the fishnet shirts, and the sandals, and Jiraiya was about to walk out the store before Naruto took out some money to pay the man. No, this is free. You'll have to pay next time though, said the man, not accepting the money. No, take it. I'll feel guilty getting all of these without paying, and I got enough money for it anyway, said Naruto putting the money on the counter. What a good kid. It's sad I didn't realize that earlier, thought the old man, smiling, and with that Naruto had one more person on his side. Jiraiya sealed the clothes in an empty scroll that he carried with him, and they started making their way toward the market. They walked slowly since they were in no hurry to get home. They made it to the store after a couple of minutes walking, and they bought what they needed, even though some of the store owners got arrested in the process, or refusing to sell food to the demon brat. Once again Jiraiya sealed the grocery that they got, and they walked out the store slowly without paying. Naruto started laughing at his sensei until Jiraiya slapped him across the head. Let's go get some ramen, said Naruto, looking at his sensei with stars in his eyes. Naruto, why do you like that ramen so much? asked Jiraiya, laughing. You have to taste it to know, said Naruto, looking at his sensei. Naruto started running toward the ramen stand, and he was surprised since the gravity seal was still activated and he couldn't even feel it. Jiraiya decided that he had to put on a gravity seal on himself. He was to teach Naruto since the boy was getting faster and faster. Jiraiya was still faster than Naruto, but in a few years he will not even come close to catching up to his speed since it ran in his family. Jiraiya caught up to Naruto with no trouble in front of the ramen stand. They walked inside the ramen stand and took a seat. The old man looked at them, smiling. Where have you been, Naruto? asked the old man, looking at the boy, smiling. Catching up on some stuff, you know, said Naruto, rubbing the back of his head sheepishly. Who is this with you? asked the old man, pointing at Jiraiya, who was sitting next to Naruto. That's my godfather, said Naruto, laughing. What do you want? asked the old man, handing them 2 menus. I'll get 3 miso ramen, said Naruto with stars in his eyes. I'll get a pork ramen, said Jiraiya, laughing at the kid. Coming right up, said the old, preparing the food. Old man Ichiraku brought them their orders and they started eating, to Naruto, which was swallowing the ramen at a high speed. Naruto finished his 3 bowls before Jiraiya could finish the one that he ordered. They finished eating and paid, walking out the ramen stand with Naruto complaining that they should have stayed longer, since he's still hungry. Jiraiya looked at Naruto, smiling at the fact that the boy reminded him so much of his late student Minato. Jiraiya and Naruto made their way toward the clothing store to pick up the shirts that the old man was making for Naruto. They made it to the store and walked in looking for the old man. Are you finished with the clothes? asked Jiraiya, looking at the old man. Yes, sir, said the old man, handing Jiraiya the shirts. Thank you, said Naruto, walking out the shop. Come again, said the old man, waving at them. Namake's compound. Jiraiya and Naruto arrived and unsealed the clothes and the food that was in the scroll and put them in place. They went back outside to the training ground since it was only 7 and they could still get some training in. Jiraiya decided that it was time for him to teach Naruto the shadow clone since his chakra reserve was massive. Naruto stood in front of Jiraiya waiting for instruction on what they were going to do now. Okay, Naruto, I'm going to teach you a jutsu now, said Jiraiya, smirking. Yippee, about time, old man, said Naruto, jumping up and down in joy. It's a cool fire jutsu, ain't it, said Naruto, jumping in front of Jiraiya, laughing. No, it's helpful for training though, said Jiraiya, looking at the kid. Huh, what is it? asked Naruto, looking at his sensei, calming down a little. Since your chakra reserve is big, you're going to get it easily, explained Jiraiya, looking at the boy. What is it already, sensei? said Naruto in an impatient tone. It's called the shadow clone, yelled Jiraiya, smacking him over the head. You are not to use it in front of people. We'll only use it for training for now, said Jiraiya, looking at the boy as he explained everything to him. How does that help me? What is a shadow clone anyway? asked Naruto, looking at his sensei, confused. The shadow clone makes a physical copy of yourself, said Jiraiya, showing Naruto the hand seal by making a clone of himself. I could never make a clone in class, said Naruto, looking at his sensei with shame in his eyes. It's because you have way more chakra than the kids in your class, and your control sucks since you never had anybody to help you with it, explained Jiraiya, looking at the kid with a smile. Oh, that makes sense. Since I have more chakra, it's harder to control it, said Naruto, doing the seal for the shadow clone, and he created 5 clones of himself on the spot. How those it help my training? asked Naruto, looking at his sensei. Okay, come with me, said one of Jiraiya's clones to one of Naruto's clones. The clone followed Jiraiya to the front of the compound. You are an idiot, said Jiraiya's clone before punching Naruto's in the stomach, dispelling it, and after that he dispelled himself. Who are you calling an idiot? yelled Naruto, looking at Jiraiya. You see now, whatever your clone experience when they are dispelled, it's passed on to the original, said Jiraiya, looking at the boy. Awesome, yelled Naruto, jumping around. Okay, Naruto, since you got it, create 6 clones for training for the rest of the night, smirked Jiraiya, looking at the kid. What are you the worst at in the academy? asked Jiraiya, looking at the kid. The 3 academy ninjutsu, said Naruto, looking at his sensei. He did the single hand seal, then said Kage Bunshin no Jutsu Shadow Clone Jutsu, and created 6 clones of himself on the spot. Send one to do the tree climbing exercise and one to run up and down the tree, said Jiraiya, looking at the boy. Naruto instructed the clones to do what Jiraiya told, and he turned to look at his sensei once again. One to work on the transformation, do it until it comes natural to you. Send one to work on the replacement jutsu, and 2 to do like the tree climbing, 1 running, 1 walking, said Jiraiya looking at the kid. What do I do? Asked Naruto looking at his sensei. You are going to meditate, said Jiraiya looking at the kid. Okay, where? Asked Naruto looking at his sensei. Right where you are, kid, said Jiraiya getting in his meditation sitting position. Sensei, why do people meditate? Asked Naruto getting in the sitting position. Because it takes away stress and it also relaxes the mind, making a person's reflex quicker, and you can sense the things around you, said Jiraiya looking at the boy before closing his eyes. Naruto did the same, and they stayed like that for the next 3 hours while the clones worked on chakra control and mastering 2 of the Academy 3 ninjutsus. The next day, Naruto was asleep when the clones dispelled, so it was now that he was getting the experience of the training from yesterday. He could feel that his chakra control has improved a lot. He tried the transformation jutsu and he got it right on his first try and it was perfect. He decided to try the replacement jutsu, and he could replace himself with little fluffy fox toy that was in the corner of his room on the first try. Naruto was happy, but as he learned from his meditation yesterday, he wasn't supposed to get mad or excited over every little thing. He still decided to jump around before he went to do his physical workout. Naruto went downstairs to the training ground and Jiraiya still wasn't awake yet, so he decided to let him get some sleep. Here we go, said Naruto stretching before he could start to do him workout. Naruto finished stretching and started doing the push-ups. His gravity seal was still on, so he was getting the maximum effect of the physical workout. He did 100 sit-ups, then he did 100 pull-ups. Naruto finished with the physical workout and decided to get a lap around the compound before taking a shower. He did the lap and went inside to take a shower. After taking a shower, Naruto took out his clothes to get ready for school. He put his clothes on, then looked in the mirror to see how the clothes looked on him, and he was satisfied about what he saw. His body didn't have any more baby fat since he had to work on that every morning, so the fishnet shirt stayed on him perfectly. He wrapped the bandages around his ankle and put his kunai holder on his right tight, and went downstairs to get some breakfast before leaving. Naruto walked to the academy fast because he was going to be late after taking all that time to look at himself in the mirror. He didn't want to run so the people would not get suspicious about his speed. As soon as he got to the academy, he transformed himself to look like the old Naruto did to ask Sakura out to see if he was going to get lucky after all that time. Naruto walked in the classroom and Irika stopped him and the students started laughing at him. Naruto, where have you been? And you're late, yelled Irika with his big scary head jutsu. I woke up late, said Naruto looking at his sensei. Where have you been? Asked Irika looking at the boy. It's a secret, Irika-sensei, said Naruto rubbing the back of his head sheepishly. Take a seat, said Irika. Naruto looked around the room to see his friends and his crush. Sakura Haruno was Sasuke's fangirl, he knew that, but he still liked her. She was book smart, and had no real skills even though she beat him up pretty good. She did not like him one bit. To her, Sasuke was better than all the guys in the class, even though Sasuke never even bothered to acknowledge her. Ino was another fangirl, but she had a little skill. She was mean to Naruto but not like Sakura, and she was very bossy. Shikamaru was one of Naruto's best friends now since he knew his secret, and never told anyone. He was the laziest kid on the planet as far as Naruto knew, since he's been getting the minimum passing score on every exam so that he wouldn't have to show his thinking ability, so people wouldn't ask him to do anything troublesome. Naruto and Shikamaru skipped school sometimes to go watch clouds. Shikamaru was sometimes his lookout when pulling pranks around the school, so he decided to sit by Shikamaru. After asking Sakura out for one more time, he decided that if she declined him he would give up on her. Sakura-chan, said Naruto blushing. What, Baka, yelled Sakura looking at him. I was wondering if you wanted to go on a date with me, said Naruto smiling at her. Hell no, Baka, yelled Sakura punching him back to the nearest wall. Naruto dropped the transformation jutsu in a poof of smokes and he wasn't concentrating at the time, so he stopped suppressing his chakra, and everyone knew that no academy student should have that much energy. After the smoke was gone, everybody started looking Naruto's way to see what happened. They were surprised to see now a taller Naruto, his hair wilder and longer, wearing some black shinobi pants, his ankle wrapped in bandage, and his toned body under the shirt. Hinata started blushing before she fainted. She was standing up, so she was about to fall on the ground before Irika held her up. Naruto took a seat by the boys in the back talking to Shikamaru, who wasn't surprised since he saw him in the Hokage's office the day before. Shikamaru, what's up? Said Naruto looking at his friend. Why did you do that? Asked Shikamaru looking at his friend. I wanted to ask her out one last time, laughed Naruto looking at his friend. Last time, said Choji eating his chips. Yeah, I realized that she doesn't like me, so I won't waste my time with her, said Naruto looking at the big boy. I can't believe I thought she was cute. Look at that forehead, laughed Naruto loud enough so she could hear him. Sakura started crying because she was giving all her attention to Sasuke, but she enjoyed the attention she was getting from Naruto since he was the only one who never made fun of her about her look. What the hell happened to Naruto? He want me to kick his butt again, thought Sakura angrily. Sakura got up and walked toward Naruto thinking he's going to quickly apologize when he sees her face. Naruto sensed her coming like he learned from his sensei Jiraiya. He got up and turned to look at her with a smile, while the other boys was laughing. Mizuki saw this as an opportunity to make the demon brat get beat up again, so he was looking at the situation with a smirk. Baka, apologize to me right now, demanded Sakura with her red with anger. But Sakura-chan, pleaded Naruto, laughing. Now, Baka, yelled Sakura, glaring at him. I don't think so, your forehead is big, right, said Naruto, turning serious. Apologize, Baka, yelled Sakura, glaring at the boy. Okay, I'm sorry your forehead is so big, said Naruto, sitting down. Do you want me to beat you up again, yelled Sakura, glaring at the boy. Class, it's time for our taijutsu practice, said Mizuki, getting up from his seat. Everybody made their way outside for the day's taijutsu practice. Sakura was smirking, knowing that she was going to get Naruto, and she finally have another chance to impress her precious Sasuke-kun. Naruto was smiling, knowing that Sakura was thinking that he still couldn't move properly, and that he was an easy target like last time they fought. Sasuke was smirking, knowing that he had another victim. After seeing Naruto walk in the room, he wanted to fight him to show that he was still the better one in the class. Naruto versus Sakura, you two please step up, said Mizuki, smirking. I will get you, Baka, smirked Sakura, walking toward the middle of the academy training ground. Are you both ready, asked Mizuki, looking at Sakura. Yes, said Sakura, getting in the taijutsu style taught at the academy. Naruto nodded and got in the style Jiraiya taught him at the compound. Go, said Mizuki, looking at Naruto. That's not what I taught him, thought Mizuki, looking at the boy with hate. Here I come, Baka, yelled Sakura, running toward Naruto like she did in the first fight. Same move, said Naruto, stepping out the way of the punch she sent toward him. Sakura sent another punch toward Naruto, and he just jumped out the way by jumping in the air and doing a flip back, then falling on both his feet. Sakura sent a kick at him, then a punch at the boy, but Naruto was dodging them, and she lost her balance, then fell on the ground flat on her face. Sasuke was looking at him, angry since Naruto wasn't that good last time, and if Naruto improved then he had to test himself against him. Sakura got up and dusted herself up, and she was getting angry not being able to land a single hit on the boy that she just promised an ass kicking to. She went at him with a kick and punch combo, but Naruto dodged every single one of them with ease with some slow movement. Naruto decided to end the fight and axe kicked Sakura in the torso, sending her crashing to the ground with a little blood coming out her mouth. She was now really pissed off, with her inner self screaming. She got up and she ran toward Naruto and punched him across the training field. He got up and dusted himself up, and she was already in front of him ready to pound him to the ground. She threw a punch at him, but Naruto said Kawarimi no Jutsu replacement jutsu and replaced himself with a log, which got completely destroyed. Naruto came out from behind a tree and looked at the girl, smiling. Sakura ran toward him, but he suddenly disappeared and Sakura hid nothing but the tree. Seems like I have to get serious, huh, said Naruto, appearing behind her. Come here so I can kick your ass, Naruto yelled Sakura. She ran toward him again with a punch headed for his face, but he ducked and punched her in the stomach, making a little blood come out of her mouth due to the intensity of the punch. She backed up and Naruto got up and kneed her in the stomach, then he punched her right on the nose, knocking her out instantly. Winner Uzumaki, Naruto, said Irika, smiling at the boy. Naruto, who taught this taijutsu style to you, asked Mizuki, giving him a fake smile. I learned it myself, lied Naruto, looking back at the man. You lying, yelled Mizuki, looking at him. Why does it matter to you, said Naruto, looking at him. Shikamaru gave up against Sasuke, Kiba beat Ino, Shino beat Choji, and everybody continued to practice the academy style except for Naruto, who was doing his own thing in the back. After the taijutsu practice, the class went on to throwing practice. They all had pretty good accuracy since Naruto trained with his godfather in that area for the past week. Shikamaru was the only one who didn't even bother trying, saying that it was a drag to do it. It was time to go back to the classroom for the history part of the class. Naruto was paying close attention even though his head wasn't letting him, since Irika made the explanation extra boring. Shikamaru was besides him sound asleep. He followed his head and fell asleep on the desk beside Shikamaru. The bell rung and they knew it was now lunchtime, and the boys had a special place to eat, which was on the roof of the academy away from the girls. Even Shino was on the roof. When it was lunchtime, the only one of the boys who wasn't there was Sasuke, because he preferred to be alone. Today Kiba stayed in the courtyard of the academy wanting to get some play from Hinata. They went to the top of the academy, and Shikamaru quickly got in his cloud-watching position. Guys, I want you to meet somebody, said Naruto, taking out a kunai. You're not going to kill us, are you, said Shikamaru, laughing. No, idiot, said Naruto, making a little cut on his finger to draw out some blood. He put some blood on his right hand and did some quick hand seals before saying Gamakuchio's no Jutsu toad summoning jutsu and summoned 2 little toads in a puff of smokes. What do you want, kid? Asked Gamakichi looking at the boy. What the hell, talking frogs, said Choji looking at the 2 little toads laughing. We're toads, you jerk, yelled Gamakichi glaring at the boy. Anyway, you guys have to keep quiet about this, said Naruto looking at them. Sure, said Shino in his usual monotone voice. Who is this brother? Asked Gamatatsu looking at Naruto. Do you have some candy? Asked Gamatatsu looking at the boy. Naruto reached in his pocket and took 5 pieces of candy and gave to them. You know what I like, you kids, said Gamakichi eating a piece of candy. Gamakichi, this is Shikamaru, the laziest kid in the world, said Naruto pointing at Shikamaru, who was laying on his back looking at the sky. What's up, said Gamakichi to Shikamaru. Hey, said Shikamaru waving at the little toad without looking at him. This is Shino, and that is Choji, said Naruto pointing at Shino, then Choji. Jiraiya was sitting outside the hot spring with a big smile on his face, writing on his little notebook the notes for his next porn book. He really missed doing his research, but now he couldn't do it as often as he wanted to because he had to train Naruto to protect himself before he left for his meeting with his spies. Now that he knew that Madara was alive and that he was involved in the Kyuubi attack, he had to let Naruto enjoy himself before throwing him in the killing life of a ninja. Jiraiya finished his research, and he suddenly found himself in the toad summoning realm where he got his sage training done. Jiraiya, who is that kid you let sign the contract? Asked Pa, an old short little toad. Naruto, he's my new student, said Jiraiya looking at Pa smiling. Pa stroked him on the head with his cane. Who is he? Asked Pa looking at him. Minato's son, sir, said Jiraiya rubbing the big lump on his head. You mean your godson, said Ma looking at the man. Yes, answered Jiraiya, not wanting to get hit for a second time. That's why we summoned you here, said Pa looking at the man. But I wanted to talk to you guys. I want to finish mastering my sage training while the kid is in school. There is a very powerful man that I just found out that might be alive, said Jiraiya seriously. Okay, when do you want to finish it? Asked Pa looking at him laughing. We start tomorrow, said Jiraiya looking at the 2 toad sages. Okay, get ready to go to hell again, laughed Pa looking at Jiraiya. Back with Naruto. Naruto, Shino, Choji, Shikamaru, Gamakichi, and Gamatatsu were still hanging out on the roof of the academy, but it was now time for them to go back to class. Naruto sent Gamakichi and Gamatatsu back home and went down. When they went back down on the playing ground of the academy to find Sasuke looking for Naruto, he wanted to fight him before they had to go to class. Hey dope, fight me, demanded Sasuke looking at the boy. Don't feel like it, team, said Naruto looking at him. Don't insult Sasuke-kun, Baka, yelled Sakura with a bandage on her nose, and all the Uchiha fan girls agreed with her. Shut up, Sakura, said Naruto looking at the girl. I said fight me, or are you scared, said Sasuke in his superior Uchiha better than you tone. Sure, said Naruto getting in the fox-style taijutsu stance. Sasuke got in his family style and they faced each other. You see, Inopig, Sasuke-kun is fighting for my honor, said Sakura with heart in her eyes. As if, said Sasuke looking at the girl. But Sasuke-kun, said Sakura on the verge of tears. Kick his ass, Naruto yelled Kiba with a bark from Akamaru. That Baka can't beat Sasuke-kun, yelled all the fangirls. I'm fighting him to prove that I'm better than him, said Sasuke running toward him doing some hand seals katan. Kukakyu no Jutsu fire style. Grand Fireball Jutsu, said Sasuke as a big fireball came out his mouth heading straight for Naruto. Kawarimi no Jutsu replacement Jutsu, said Naruto before he replaced himself with a log. The log burned down and Naruto appeared behind Sasuke smiling. Sasuke turned around and punched him in the face, then kicked him in the stomach, sending him a few feet back, which had all the fangirls screaming. Naruto got up and dusted himself up. Naruto jumped in the air and did a flip backwards, getting ready for Sasuke. He ran toward Naruto with a punch and kick combo, but this time Naruto dodged and blocked all of them, and at the end he punched him in the face, then kicked him in the ribs, which knocked him down, having all the fangirls yelling at Naruto. Some of them were even going to jump in the fight. Sasuke got up and started doing some hand seals. At the end he said Katan, Hausenka no Jutsu fire style. Mythical Fire Phoenix Jutsu, and a bunch of fireballs came out his mouth toward Naruto. Since everyone jumped out the way, Naruto used his speed to evade the fireballs and get in front of Sasuke. He kneed him in the stomach, then punched him in the chest before sending him flying with a powerful kick. Sasuke did a flip in midair and landed on his feet with some blood on the side of his lips. He started running toward Naruto with his anger building up. He threw a punch at the yellow head boy, but Naruto ducked to evade before he did a swept under him, making the Uchiha jump in the air. Sasuke was coming down with a kick meant for Naruto's head, but Naruto kicked it away with a kick himself. Sasuke fell on his feet and punched Naruto in the face, making a little blood come out the side of the yellow hair boy's mouth. Stop it, you two, yelled Iruka, getting between them. He wanted to fight. I had to kick his ass, said Naruto laughing. Naruto, you totally owned him there, bros, said Kiba, patting him on the back. Sasuke, when you idiot, yelled Sakura, glaring at Naruto. Whatever forehead, laughed Naruto, looking at the girl. GGGGG, good job. And Naruto-kun, stuttered Hinata, looking at her feet, playing with her fingers. Thank you, Hinata, said Naruto, smiling at the girl. I can't believe it, Naruto just beat Sasuke, the top of our class, thought Ino, just looking at Naruto. Naruto started walking away to join his friends with a big smile on his face. He finally did what he always wanted to do, to prove himself to the class. Now all that was left was for him to prove himself to the village by becoming Hokage. He heard the group of fangirls calling his name. He turned around and saw all the fangirls except for Ino glaring daggers at him. Ino was still standing in the same spot where she cheering for Sasuke before Naruto beat him, and she made herself believe that no one in the academy could beat her precious Sasuke-kun in a fight. And to see the same thing she believed could never happen in front of her was making her doubt what she saw in Sasuke. Ino was finally snapped out of her phase when she saw the fangirls getting mad. You need to apologize to Sasuke-kun right now, yelled Sakura, the head of the fangirls. I wish I could, but I can't, said Naruto, walking away. Get back here and apologize to Sasuke-kun, Baka, yelled Sakura, walking toward Naruto with the other fangirls behind her. Hell no, said Naruto, stopping, and he turned to look at all the fangirls. We'll just make you then, said Sakura, cracking her knuckles. I thought the team was supposed to be the strongest in the village. Now you want revenge because the dead last beat him, laughed Naruto, looking at them. Shut up, yelled Sakura, glaring at him. Touch me and you'll regret it, said Naruto with one of his fake smiles as he directed all his killing intent toward them like Jiraiya taught him to do. It was a little hard standing up straight for the girls, since they were just academy student and Naruto's chakra was massive. Naruto suppressed his chakra again like Jiraiya taught him. You will apologize to Sasuke-kun, yelled Sakura, getting up from the ground. Forehead, just shut up, yelled Ino, walking toward the girl. What, you're siding with him, yelled Sakura, looking at Ino. I'm not siding with anybody. Sasuke lost, you don't see him asking for no apology. That's why he don't talk to us, I just realized that. You're annoying, yelled Ino, walking away from the group. You out of the competition for Sasuke-kun's heart then, Ino pig, smirked Sakura, looking at the girl's back. Whatever, said Ino, going inside the academy. Sakura turned to get back to Naruto, but he was already gone with the other boys. Naruto was long gone with Kiba, Choji, Shikamaru, Shino, and Hinata. There went on the roof of the academy, and just laid there looking at the clouds with Shikamaru. Naruto was enjoying the little time that he had with his friends, but he knew that at 4:30 he had to go home to get ready for his training. Naruto was really happy about his new life. He didn't worry about the villagers since he had Jiraiya and the Hokage to look after him. He considered them his family, and that's all he wanted, family and friends. They spent the whole time on the roof until the bell for the academy rung, and it was time to go home. So they forgot to return to class after lunch, and Irika was going to get mad at them the next day. Guys, who has to go home and train, said Naruto, looking at them smiling. Me, stuttered Hinata, getting up to go home. I have to do physical workout with my mom, said Kiba, jumping down from the roof and making his way toward his house. See you tomorrow, Hinata smiled Naruto, looking at the girl. Let's just hang out, then I can show you guys my house, said Naruto, getting up. Whatever, if I go home right now my mom is going to be on my ass anyway, said Shikamaru, getting up. Where are we going, said Choji, looking at them. We can go to my house. But you guys have to promise not to tell anybody that don't know, said Naruto, looking at them seriously. Sure, said Choji and Shikamaru, walking in front of them, and Shino just nod. The boys jumped down from the academy's roof and started making their way toward the Hyuga compound. When they made it by the Hyuga compound, Shikamaru spoke up. You said we were going to your house, why are we going toward the Hyuga compound, said Shikamaru, looking at the boy. I live next to the Hyugas, said Naruto, walking past the Hyuga compound. They made to the gate of the compound next to the Hyugas, and they all were surprised that Naruto lived in a big family compound as big as the Hyugas. Shino was not showing the fact that he was surprised, but they could hear his bugs. Naruto opened the gates with the key that Jiraiya gave him, and they all walked him. As soon as they walked in, they saw the beautiful garden that's in the front. They looked at everything with awe and amazement. Choji looked at everything, eating his chips bags after bags, eating faster and faster. Dude, you live here alone? Since when, said Choji, looking at his friend. Not long ago. And I live here with my godfather, said Naruto, rubbing the back his head. Let me show you guys the lake in the back, said Naruto, looking at them. They walked down the street of the compound, which looked like a mini village with stores and houses on either sides of the street. They made it to the back of the compound where the training ground, and there was a lake there with a dock and everything. Naruto jumped on the water and started running on the water, which had all the boys looking at him with their eyes wide open. How did you do that, said Choji, finishing his last pack of potato chips. You know about chakra control, right, said Naruto, looking at them. Yeah, it's a drag learning it, said Shikamaru, looking at his friend with a bored expression. Can you do any chakra control, said Naruto, looking at his friends. No, my dad didn't start with that yet, said Shino, looking at him. No, said Choji, looking at him. Don't want to, said Shikamaru, sitting down on the dock to look at the lake. If you do that, I will play shogi with you every time I have some free time, smirked Naruto, knowing that the boy liked to play shogi. What do we do, asked Choji, looking at him. Just walk up a tree by flowing some chakra to the bottom of your feet, said Naruto, getting off the water to show them. He walked up the tree with ease, and Shikamaru was the first to get up and try to walk up the tree. As soon as he saw Naruto walk up the tree, he already concluded that you can't use too much chakra, or too little for that matter. He got it to the top of the tree on his 5th try and went back to sitting on the dock and looking at the lake. It was time for them to go home because Jiraiya would be home any minute now to start his training for the day. They all got the chakra control exercise with Naruto cheering them on and encouraging them when they started to fail. Let me tell you guys something Jiji-sensei told me. When you run up and down the tree for a long time and do it every day, your chakra will start to grow, said Naruto, rubbing the back of his head. I will do that, said Choji, walking out the gates. Thank you, Naruto-san, said Shino behind Choji. See you tomorrow, Naruto. You're a troublesome blonde, you know that, said Shikamaru with his bored expression. I'll see you guys tomorrow, said Naruto, running back inside after closing the gates. He went inside and got in one other black pants that he started using for training purposes. He went back to the training ground and started stretching and getting ready for his sensei to arrive. Jiraiya appeared in the middle of the training ground in a puff of smokes and saw Naruto stretching. What's up, sensei, said Naruto, looking at his sensei, smiling. How was school, said Jiraiya, walking toward the boy. They put in a fight against the same girl that beat me up, said Naruto, laughing. And, said Jiraiya, waiting for the end. I won. Then I introduced Gamakichi and Gamatatsu to Shikamaru and some of my most trusted friends. We chilled for some time and forgot to go back to class. When I was about to go to class, Sasuke asked me for a fight, and I totally kicked his ass, said Naruto, laughing. You mean the Uchiha, said Jiraiya, smiling at his godson. Yeah, and he knows some fire jutsus too, said Naruto, before explaining the whole fight to his sensei. I told you the Academy 3 was useful, said Jiraiya, looking at him. Alright, Gaki. Summoning training, said Jiraiya, taking off his top. Alright, said Naruto, jumping up and down. Alright, Naruto, you can use Toad for almost everything, like sending messages, chilling out. And there are big combat toads, said Jiraiya, looking at the kid. Are there like small ones or a jutsu to summon a bunch of small frogs, said Naruto, grinning. What do you have in mind, said Jiraiya, also grinning. The girls in school. I need to teach them a lesson, laughed Naruto, looking at his sensei. I like your style, kid. But you have to put enough chakra for hundreds of small toads and summon them, said Jiraiya, laughing. Work on it until you get, then come find me. Send me a message with a messenger toad, said Jiraiya, disappearing in a puff of smokes. I know who can help me, said Naruto, biting his thumb to draw some blood. He did the hand seals, then said Kichios no Jutsu, summoning jutsu, and summoned 2 small toads, each wearing a blue jacket. Gamakichi and Gamatatsu already liked him, so they were happy that he summoned them again. The candy had nothing to do with it, but it helped. Hey kid, said Kyuubi through the mind link they had. Who the hell said that, asked Naruto, getting in a defensive position. It's me, Kyuubi. I can speak to you through our mind link, said the Demon Lord. Oh, what is it, said Naruto, taking a pause before starting on his new jutsu. Do you know how the Sharingan copy or predicts people's moves, asked the Demon Lord. They do it by reading a person's mind with their Sharingan by looking in the person's eyes. That's why they all know Genjutsu, said the Demon Lord. So they can read people's mind, asked Naruto, a little nervous. Is there any way against it, them reading your mind, said Naruto, still practicing his jutsu. Anybody else would fight them without looking in their eyes. But since I can't mess with your DNA by giving you the Sharingan, I'll give a counter to the Sharingan. It won't block your mind so that you're the only one who can access it. It's going to be your eyes, said the Demon Lord. You're not going to change my eyes, are you, said Naruto, getting more nervous. No, I fixed them so anytime an Uchiha tried to read your mind or cast a Genjutsu on you, it won't work. Matter of fact, you won't get caught on any Genjutsu. It don't matter how powerful it is. Your eyes will still remain the same, said the Demon Lord. Talk to you later. I'm going to sleep, said the Demon Lord, leaving the mind link with Sasuke. Sasuke was in his clan training ground training with his jutsu. He read a scroll on some more fire jutsus, and he was practicing them to beat Naruto the next time they fought. Unknown to him, there was somebody watching him train. The man in the white coat and the ambi mask jumped out in the clearing and stood across from the lonely Uchiha. Sasuke glared at the Umbu member before stopping his practice. What do you want, demanded Sasuke. I was sent here to help you, said the Umbu member, looking at him. I don't need your help, and get out of my house, said Sasuke, walking away from the man. But the dead last of the academy did manage to beat you, said the Umbu member. Shut up, said Sasuke, running toward the man. He threw a punch, but the Umbu member dodged it easily and punched him in the stomach, then kicked him away. The Umbu member jumped in the air and threw several kunais at him, injuring him. He threw a kunai again, but Sasuke dodged it before falling on the ground unconscious. The Umbu member picked him up and ran out of the compound with him, heading toward the hospital. He dropped him in front of the hospital, But what he didn't know was that Sarutobi saw everything that happened with his crystal ball. He sent 2 of his best Ambu to take care of the root member. He made to an empty little alley, and before he could report to his master, he found himself being restrained by some tree roots. Before he heard a sound of 1,000 birds screeching, the Ambu in the dog mask ran toward him at full speed. When he made it in front of him, he said Raikiri lightning blade and ran his hand through the man's heart, killing him. They destroyed the body and left to report to the Hokage. The nurses treated Sasuke fast and told to rest since his injuries were completely healed. He could go home this afternoon. Sasuke felt something in his eyes and asked the nurse for a mirror to see what the problem was. The nurse handed him the mirror, smiling. He looked in the mirror and saw his eyes was still the same. He flowed some chakra to his eyes to check if his Sharingan was activated, and he was right. He saw his Sharingan with 1 tomo in his eye, and he smirked. He would go home and beat Naruto the next day, because there is no way that the dead last could beat him now that he had the Sharingan. Sasuke was happy that his eyes activated, and now he would show Naruto for humiliating him in front of the whole class. Naruto did the hand seals and tried doing the jutsu again, and he knew that he ran out of chakra since he summoned all kind of toads in the last hour, and he memorized the ones that he summoned and what they could be used for. The thing that drained his last bit of chakra was when he created all the clones to summon different type of toads. One of the clones did manage to get the jutsu right before Naruto dispelled all of them and sent all the little frogs home. Gamakichi, Gamatatsu, go get Jiraiya for me. Tell him I'm done, said Naruto before falling on the ground. The little toads jumped out of the compound and hopped toward the hot springs since they had a blood contract with the Toad Sage, and they knew where he was at all time. Jiraiya was busy peeking at the women in the bathhouse and writing notes on his notepad, since that was his last chance to do any good research with his new training. The boy too. He was giggling, and no one in the bathhouse even spotted him, since he was excellent at stealth, being a spy master, and all that. Jiraiya senses the little toads coming his way and got up, putting his notepad away. Gamakichi and Gamatatsu arrived and saw Jiraiya coming out of bush, and knew what he was doing since his dad told him about his summoner, the Toad Sage. Naruto said that he's done, said Gamakichi, looking at the man. So, he summoned you guys to help him. Let's go, said Jiraiya, pointing toward his shoulder. They each got on one shoulder, and they disappeared, leaving behind a bunch of leaves. Jiraiya appeared in the training ground with the 2 little toads on his shoulders. Naruto's chakra was in his reloading mode, getting back the chakra that he used doing the jutsu. Gaki, let me make you a new training schedule. You have too much time for taijutsu since you already know the one that I taught you. Starting next week you'll be using that new schedule, said Jiraiya, taking out an empty scroll and some writing material. Alright, I'll get some ninjutsu finally, said Naruto, jumping up and down in happiness. Monday, 5:30 a.m. to 6 a.m. physical workout, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. speed training, 7 a.m. to 7:55 a.m. eat and get ready for school, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. academy, 1 p.m. to 1:30 p.m. lunch, 1:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. ninjutsu, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. dodging practice, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. meditation. Tuesday, 5:30 a.m. to 6 a.m. physical workout, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. taijutsu training, 7 a.m. to 7:55 a.m. eat and get ready for school, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. academy, 1 p.m. to 1:30 p.m. lunch, 1:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. ninjutsu, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. target practice, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. meditation. Wednesday, 5:30 a.m. to 6 a.m. physical workout, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. speed training, 7 a.m. to 7:55 a.m. eat and get ready for school, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. academy, 1 p.m. to 1:30 p.m. lunch, 1:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. ninjutsu, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. dodging practice, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. meditation. Thursday, 5:30 a.m. to 6 a.m. physical workout, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. taijutsu training, 7 a.m. to 7:55 a.m. eat and get ready for school, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. academy, 1 p.m. to 1:30 p.m. lunch, 1:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. ninjutsu, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. target practice, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. meditation. Friday, 5:30 a.m. to 6 a.m. physical workout, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. speed training, 7 a.m. to 7:55 a.m. eat and get ready for school, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. academy, 1 p.m. to 1:30 p.m. lunch, 1:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. ninjutsu, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. dodging practice, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. meditation. Saturday, 5:30 a.m. to 6 a.m. physical workout, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. speed training, 7 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. eat, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. friends, 1 p.m. to 1:30 p.m. lunch, 1:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. seals, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. dodging practice and target practice, 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. meditation. Sunday, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. physical workout, target, and dodging practice. Rest of day off. Alright Gaki, you know what to do now, said Jiraiya, throwing him the scroll. Naruto caught the scroll and put it in his pocket, and started running around the compound slowly since Jiraiya had increased the gravity to help him control his newfound speed, and to strengthen his body when doing the physical workout. He ran around the compound and ran around the compound before Jiraiya decided to join him to get back in shape since he didn't train in a long time, and now he had to complete his sage training and he knew that Pa was not going to go easy on him. They ran around the compound with a gravity seal on his body like the one on Naruto, and he was enjoying running alongside his student, seeing Minato in the boy every time he looked at him. With Sasuke. Sasuke was back home with his wounds healed and he was about to train to get used to his Sharingan, even though he would learn through scrolls only since he was still in the academy, and he didn't have any family in the village. He didn't know anybody in the village with the Sharingan who could help him in the village. Sasuke went inside the Uchiha library and took a scroll on how to wield the Sharingan properly. He sat down and read the scroll and he found out that he had to keep flowing chakra to his eyes for the Sharingan to stay activated, and that if he didn't have enough chakra to activate it, it would not work. Sasuke took out another scroll on genjutsus, but he couldn't understand it properly. He would just wait until he had another sensei to work on that. Sasuke wanted to be able to use his Sharingan in battle as soon as possible to beat Naruto to a bloody pulp. The scroll Sasuke took out was a scroll on chakra control, and he decided that he would not do that since it wasn't really necessary in battle. He needed some more jutsus to master. And with that he went to master the fire jutsus that he already knew. I will beat you, Dobe, because no one can stand up to the Sharingan, yelled Sasuke out of anger. With Naruto. Naruto, I need to see if your chakra control is ready for the kind of training we're going to do, said Jiraiya looking at the boy. I mastered both the tree climbing and the water walking, said Naruto looking at his sensei. Naruto, there are jutsu that I'm going to teach. Not everyone can perform it because you got to have a contract with the toads to be able to perform it, said Jiraiya, looking at him serious. What is it, said Naruto looking at his sensei a little nervous. Let's go to the toad's home to get you some oil, said Jiraiya looking at the boy. Gamakichi, Gamatatsu, please go back and tell Pa to summon myself and Naruto, said Jiraiya looking at the two little toads. Okay, said Gamakichi and Gamatatsu, disappearing in a puff of smokes. A couple of minutes later Jiraiya and Naruto disappeared in a puff of smokes and appeared under the biggest tree that Naruto has ever seen. He was surprised since he has never seen a tree so huge. Naruto was looking around with his mouth wide open, until Gamakichi and Gamatatsu jumped in front of him. Where are we, said Naruto, still looking around. This is where I live, and where the Toad family lives, said Gamakichi looking at the boy. Jiraiya, what is it that you want, said Pa looking at the man in front of him. I just wanted to give him some oil. I'm going to teach the Toad oil jutsu, said Jiraiya looking at the old toad in fear, since he didn't want to get hit by the cane that the little toad carried. Jiraiya-sensei, why are you scared of that little toad, said Naruto looking at the toad sage laughing. What he didn't expect was getting hit on the head with the cane that little toad carried and found himself on the ground with a big lump on the head. Brat, you better keep your mouth shut, whispered Jiraiya looking at the boy on the ground. You're right, sensei, whispered Naruto moving behind his sensei. What is your name, kid, said Pa looking at the boy. Uzumaki Naruto, Mr. Toad, sir, said Naruto from behind his sensei. My name is Pa and I am one of the sages of the toads, said Pa looking at the boy. A bunch of big toads appeared behind Pa with an old female toad besides him. Naruto, this is Ma, the other sage of the toads. My son's Gamabunta, the boss summoned, said Pa pointing at the big toad with the sword by his waist. Hey, you was in the fight with the fourth Hokage against the Kyuubi. Just wait, when Gamakichi and Gamatatsu gets big we're going to beat you and Gigi-sensei. Isn't that right, Kichi? Tatsu, said Naruto looking way up to see the big toad's face. Yeah, yelled Gamakichi looking at his father. Is that right, said Gamabunta laughing. He really is his son, thought Gamabunta looking at the little kid. Believe it, said Naruto looking at the boss toad. This is Gamaken, my other son, said Pa pointing at the toad with two swords on his back making an X shape. What's up, yelled Naruto so that the big toad could hear him. Hello, Naruto, said Gamaken laughing with the other toads. And that is Gamahiko, said Pa pointing at the toad with shield in his hand. Hello, Naruto, said Gamahiko looking at the boy laughing. Naruto talked to the toads, he played around with the smaller ones, and they all started liking him since he was so nice and easygoing. Naruto played around with them while Jiraiya was drinking with the big toads and they were all laughing and having fun. Naruto, come and drink this, said Jiraiya handing him a big cup of oil. Would I have to drink all of this wine? Naruto looking at his sensei. Yes, said Jiraiya looking at him laughing. Naruto drank down the whole cup of oil with a weird look on his face. After he finished drinking it he handed the cup back to Jiraiya and he sat on the ground with his hand on his mouth. Jiraiya got up and he looked at Pa and the old toad knew that it was time for him to return back to the human realm. Jiraiya and Naruto went inside the house and took a shower getting ready to go to the Hokage's office to visit the old man since they always went to see him. Naruto put his clothes on and was waiting for Jiraiya so that they could head to the Hokage Tower. Jiraiya came downstairs with just some pants and a shirt, and he wasn't carrying the big scroll that he had to carry. He wasn't wearing his forehead protector, he was just wearing home clothes. He had on a pair of black pants, and a fishnet shirt under a white shirt. Gigi-sensei, Kyuubi made some adjustments to my eyes, said Naruto looking at his sensei while they were walking down the streets. What do you mean some adjustments, said Jiraiya carefully. I will never fall for genjutsu. And he said that it was the counter to the Sharingan because they will not be able to copy my jutsus or predict my moves, said Naruto looking at his sensei. That's good with Madara around and everything, said Jiraiya looking at the boy. Tell him, if he comes to your mindscape I can do the same for him, said Kyuubi waking up in Naruto's mind. All right, said Naruto still walking beside his godfather. Sensei, Kyuubi told me that he can the same for you, said Naruto looking at his sensei smiling. When we go back to the house, you still have to meditate, you know, said Jiraiya still walking and looking around at everything. What, said Naruto looking at his sensei. Yeah, you have to meditate every day, said Jiraiya laughing at his student. All right, said Naruto laughing with his sensei. They made it to the Hokage Tower, and they went in through the window. The third was glad to see them since he was getting bored out of his mind doing so much paperwork all day. He could swear that the paperwork was teasing him and playing with him, because every time he finished a pile another pile came in. He really needed to retire now. He knew that Jiraiya didn't want the job because he was the first one in line for the job, but he gave it to his student instead, and now he had to train Naruto. He wouldn't take the job again. Jiraiya really didn't want to sit around and do paperwork when he could be around the continent doing research and having fun. Jiraiya, what brings you here, said Sarutobi without even looking back since he sensed Jiraiya coming, and he was the only one who came inside the office through the window. Just dropped by to see you, sensei. See, you're still doing paperwork, huh, laughed Jiraiya looking at his old sensei. Hey Gramps, said Naruto rubbing the back of his head. Hey there Naruto, said Sarutobi looking at the boy. How is the academy, asked the Hokage looking at the boy. It's okay, said Naruto looking at the man he considered his grandfather. Sensei, I came to talk to you about something, said Jiraiya, and Sarutobi already knew what to do. Back to the compound, I'll see you, said Jiraiya walking toward the window. Gigi-sensei, can't he just use the shadow clones to do all that paperwork, said Naruto walking toward the window. They jumped out of the window so they didn't see Sarutobi banging his head on the desk over and over again. Why didn't I think of that, said Sarutobi banging his head on the desk. All those years of doing paperwork, cried Sarutobi looking at all the paperwork, thinking all the time he could have been spending with his family. Thank you Naruto, said Sarutobi creating 3 shadow clones to finish the night's paperwork. Namake's compound. Jiraiya and Naruto made it to the compound and the yellowhead knew that he had to go meditate while his sensei talked to the Hokage. He followed Jiraiya to the little lake in the back of the compound for his meditating session. They made it to the lake and Jiraiya told Naruto to take his clothes off, and he did what his sensei told him. Now, Naruto, all you have to do is sit on the water to meditate, said Jiraiya looking at him. What, yelled Naruto looking at his sensei. You heard, come inside when you're finished, said Jiraiya walking away from the kid. As soon as Naruto tried to sit on the water, he started sinking since he only flowed chakra to his feet. He got in the water and flowed some chakra to his butt and legs and he sat on the lake and closed his eyes feeling everything around him. He could hear the birds chirping, he could feel the wind against his skin, he could feel Jiraiya and Sarutobi's chakra inside the house. The Hyugas in the next compound, his mind was just clear. Sensei, I just found out that Uchiha Madara was the one who summoned the fox to attack the village, said Jiraiya looking at the old man seriously. Are you sure, said Sarutobi looking at his student drinking some tea that Jiraiya made. Yeah, the fox said it himself, said Jiraiya looking at the old man. That complicates things, said Sarutobi looking at his student. After Naruto graduates the academy, I have to leave for a few months to find out more about it, said Jiraiya looking at the old man. That's a good idea, said Sarutobi looking at his old student smiling. I'm going to teach him combination jutsus with the toads before I leave, said Jiraiya looking at his sensei. That will help him not fight alone, plus he got teammates like Shikamaru, Shino, Choji, and Kiba who got his back. I saw him teach them the tree climbing earlier today, said Sarutobi smiling at his old student. He is a good kid, just like his father, said Jiraiya smiling. Of course, said Sarutobi smiling. I think you should leave, because the sooner you leave the sooner you can come back to take over his training. He got 2 years left in the academy, maybe you can leave in 5 months or so, and you can spend a year and a half finding more about the subject, so that you can come back to pick him up from school after he graduates. I think he would like that, said Sarutobi looking at his sensei. You are right. I want to be around when he graduates, said Jiraiya looking at his sensei. I'll train him and get my training in while he's in school, said Jiraiya looking at his sensei. After the talk with Sarutobi, Jiraiya knew that he had to go out of the village if he wanted to find out more about that Madara thing. Sarutobi left the compound and Jiraiya went to find Naruto, who was still meditating on the lake. Jiraiya took him inside because he had to rest for the school day tomorrow. The oil that Naruto drank was staying in his body for him to be able to use the toad oil jutsu, because Jiraiya had to drink it when he was learning with the toads. Now the toad sage had to go ahead and finish the sage training because when he transformed his face get distorted and he don't want that to happen. Naruto went inside the house and went to sleep and Jiraiya did the same. He wanted to go out to a bar and get something to drink to clear his mind, but he couldn't since he would be hangover and Pa would kill him in the training. The next day, the alarm rung and Naruto woke up ready for his day. He went down the stairs and headed toward the training ground. When he arrived downstairs he saw Jiraiya already up and fully dressed in the clothes that he used to train Naruto. Naruto looked at him nervously because he didn't want to be training so early in the morning. "Why are you up so early, Gigi?" asked Naruto looking at his sensei. "To get some exercise done before training with Pa," said Jiraiya looking at the boy. "What?" asked Naruto looking at the man. "What do you think I do while you're in school?" Naruto, "Follow the schedule I made for you because I'll be back Sunday morning. If I leave while training with Pa he's going to kill me," said Jiraiya looking at the boy. "Okay," said Naruto, and he was about to walk outside. "Naruto, when you come from school, summon a toad your size and start trying to get along with him, because when I come back I'm going to teach jutsus to combine with toads," said Jiraiya looking at him. "How?" said Naruto looking at his sensei. "Let me introduce you to one," said Jiraiya walking outside toward the training ground with him. They made it to the training ground and Jiraiya bit his thumb then said, and summoned a toad as tall as Naruto. "Hello Jiraiya-sama, how can I help you?" said the toad looking at Jiraiya. "Gamakino, I'm trying to demonstrate some combination jutsus to Naruto," said Jiraiya looking at the toad. "Let's go then," said the toad looking at Jiraiya. "Naruto, the main thing to be able to work with the toad, and know when to combine your chakra with him," said Jiraiya looking at the boy. The toad did some hand seals and Jiraiya put his hand on the toad's back and they said Gamma Kanbi no Jutsu, Suede and Toad Combination Jutsu, Water Bullet, and a water ball came out of the toad's mouth and turned the practice dummy into a bunch of little pieces. "Awesome," said Naruto looking at his sensei. "My wind chakra put a cutting ability on the water ball making it more destructive," explained Jiraiya looking at his student. "After school just summon him and he'll show you what to do, and how to combine your chakra," said Jiraiya as he started doing his physical workout, with Naruto besides him doing his physical workout before school. They finished and Naruto went inside to take a shower before going to school. After taking a shower and putting his clothes on, Naruto went back downstairs where Jiraiya had prepared some food for them. Jiraiya finished eating his food and took out some money and handed it to Naruto. "Do not waste it, it's for the whole week," said Jiraiya before he summoned a little messenger toad. "Tell Pa, I'm ready," said Jiraiya to the little toad. 30 seconds later Jiraiya disappeared in a puff of smokes to his training. Naruto walked out of the compound and started making his way toward the academy. When passing the Hyuga compound he saw Hinata walking to school with a box in her hand, her lunch. There was a boy who came out of the compound behind Hinata and he was also heading toward the academy. Naruto walked past him and went to talk to Hinata. "Hey, Hinata, wait up," yelled Naruto running after the shy girl. Hinata turned around and saw Naruto running after her, and she was getting nervous, since she was in love with the boy. Naruto caught up to the girl and he stood beside her, and started walking beside her. "Hey Hinata, what's up?" said Naruto rubbing the back of his head looking at the girl. "What do I do? He is so close to me right now," thought Hinata turning a different shade of red. Hey Naruto-kun, how are you doing?" answered Hinata looking at her feet avoiding to look in the boy's eyes. "Hinata, are you sick?" said Naruto touching the girl's forehead. "Naruto-kun is touching me," thought Hinata still looking at her feet and playing with her finger. "Hinata, are you alright?" asked Naruto getting worried. "I am fine. What are you doing around here?" Naruto-kun asked Hinata still looking at her feet. "I live next door to you, in that compound over there," said Naruto pointing at the compound that is as big as the Hyuga compound. Why you live next to me?" asked Hinata getting even more red, which was impossible since she was getting to an orange shade. "Yeah, you can't tell no one about it though, and try to stay out of the girls' bathroom today in school," said Naruto laughing thinking about the prank already. Hi, is that Naruto-kun?" said Hinata still looking at her feet and playing with her fingers. "You'll see, you want to race me to school or I can carry you," said Naruto looking at the girl laughing, but was all Hinata could say before Naruto picked her up bridal style and started running toward the academy with her. Naruto ran toward the academy as fast as he could style carrying the shy girl. They made to the academy with a big smile on Hinata's face and her face was also red. As soon as Naruto put her down she fainted, but lucky Irika was there to stop her from hitting the ground. "Naruto-kun just carried me to school," was all that was running through the girl's mind with a dazing mini Hinata in her mind. Naruto walked to the back of the room and went to seat by Shikamaru, Choji, Shino and Kiba with Akamaru on his head. He sat down and started talking to the guys about the day. Guys, I have the perfect plan set up for today, said Naruto with a big grin on his face. For who, asked Kiba, knowing the look that Naruto had on his face since they pulled pranks with each other before. The girls, you remember yesterday, said Naruto smirking. Choji, distract Mizuki, just talk to him. Shino, keep the girls from going toward the bathroom. Kiba, keep Irika-sensei from going out of the room too. And Shikamaru, you're coming with me as my lookout. You got it, asked Naruto looking at all of them. Yes, said Shikamaru looking at the boy. Why are you the leader, asked Kiba looking at the boy. Because it was my plan, yelled Naruto looking at the boy. Okay, when do we start with the plan, asked Choji looking at Naruto. After the physical session outside, they'll want to use the bathroom really bad, said Naruto laughing. Man, I know this is going to be genius, said Kiba getting a bark from Akamaru. Shino is going to send a bug to warn you when I'm done, said Naruto looking at Shino. Irika started the class when everybody arrived. Sasuke was just sitting in his seat looking nothing in particular, but his eyes was fixed to the front of the room. Irika was talking about the founders of the village, and surprisingly Naruto was paying a lot of attention when Irika was talking about them, since he wanted to know as much as he could about Uchiha Madara, who had something against the village. Sasuke didn't show it, but he was really pissed off when Irika started talking about how the first Hokage defeated Uchiha Madara in their final battle. All the girls were glaring at Naruto because of the incident that happened the day before, and they still held a grudge against the yellow-hair boy. Naruto had the foolproof plan running around his head with a big smile on his face. He got up and walked towards Sakura smiling. Hey there, Sakura-chan, you want to go out with me, asked Naruto smiling at the girl. As if Baki, yelled Sakura punching him in the head. Naruto walked back to his seat a little sad since the girl still didn't like him, but he was still smiling because that was his chance to get back at her. Hinata was looking a little sad too because Naruto never noticed her to ask her out and Sakura was always rejecting him. Irika finished with the first part of class and now it was time for the physical part of the day before they had lunch. They went outside in a straight line and they stood there waiting for their opponent. Shikamaru was sitting down since he was still a little bored from that long story that Irika was telling in the class. First match, Nara Shikamaru vs Sakura Harino, said Mizuki looking at them. Easy, smirked Sakura walking toward Shikamaru. You guys ready, asked Mizuki looking at them. Yes, said Sakura. Do I have to, ask Shikamaru looking at his teacher. Yes, said Mizuki looking back at the boy. Go, said Mizuki jumping back. Sakura ran toward Shikamaru with the same punch that she used against Naruto twice and Shikamaru just moved to the side and evaded the punch. He did some hand seals, then said Kagemain no Jutsu Shadow Possession Jutsu, and caught her with the Shadow Possession Jutsu. He used the shadow to get her close to the wall while he was still in the middle of the training ground. He started punching the air while Sakura was messing her hands up punching the wall very hard. Shikamaru head-butted the air and Sakura did the same and head-butt the wall, and had her big forehead bleeding. Shikamaru then made her walk towards Sasuke with a smile on her face. What the hell are you doing, Shikamaru, yelled Sakura struggling under the jutsu. Fighting, said Shikamaru smiling. Shikamaru put Sakura in the perfect position and moved his right foot back. Sasuke was looking at the boy with his Uchiha the best look. The lazy boy kicked the air while Sakura's foot ended up right on the Uchiha's groin. Sasuke fell on the ground holding his nuts while all the fangirls were worried and panicking over their precious Sasuke-kun. The lazy boy then made Sakura walk toward the wall, hitting her head on the wall, knocking herself out. If Sasuke cannot have kids with me, I will kill you, Shikamaru, yelled one of the fangirls. I did not do anything, it was Sakura, said Shikamaru laughing with everyone. Winner Nara Shikamaru, said Irika looking at the boy. Shikamaru, you're a genius, yelled Naruto running toward the boy. Funny as fuck, bro, yelled Kiba laughing on the ground. Even Shino was laughing at the thing. All the fangirls started walking toward Shikamaru cracking their knuckles. They boys made a circle around Naruto and Shikamaru. Naruto transformed into Shikamaru, while Shikamaru transformed into Naruto. It did not end good since they beat the living shit out of Naruto, but some of the girls ended up hurt too since the boys were also fighting for their friend. Naruto got hit, and the transformation jutsu still didn't cancel, and Naruto knew that his transformation jutsu was the real thing. Irika stopped the all-out war between the fangirls and the boys and wanted to continue with the spar, but he knew a war would break out again. We are going back inside, said Irika looking at them. Hinata, I need your help with something, said Naruto walking toward the girl. What is it, Naruto-kun, asked Hinata playing with her fingers. Can you look with your Byakugan to tell the guys when I'm done, said Naruto smiling at the girl. SSS yours, said Hinata finally looking at the boy. Guys now, said Naruto walking toward the academy entrance. Irika-sensei, can you help me with my throwing jutsu, said Kiba walking toward the academy teacher. Sure, Kiba, said Irika walking toward another training ground with Kiba. Mizuki-sensei, can you help me with my taijutsu, please, asked Choji walking toward the man. Sure, come on, said Mizuki walking toward the back with the boy. Shikamaru, let's go, said Naruto looking at the boy laughing. Shino Hinata is going to tell you when I'm done, said Naruto, jumping in through the window. Shino let all his bugs out and had all the girls in one corner of the training ground scared out of their dress. Naruto was in the bathroom with Shikamaru standing behind him laughing. Naruto did some hand seals, then said Gamma Kuchiyos no Jutsu, Kichi, Tatsu Toad summoning jutsu, Kichi and Tatsu, and used the summoning jutsu he made to summon the two little frogs. Gamma Kichi jumped on Naruto's head, while Gamma Tatsu jumped on his shoulder. Naruto then started doing some other hand seals, then he said Kuchiyos no Jutsu, Taju Gamma summoning jutsu, multiple toads, and summoned a bunch of little frogs in the bathroom and closed the door. Naruto waved his hands and Hinata knew that was him telling her that they were done. Shino-san, he's done, said Hinata looking at the bug boy. Shino sent some of his bugs after Kiba and Choji, and the boys ran away from the teachers toward the school. All the bugs went back on Shino and he went toward the back of the school with Hinata behind him where they were supposed to meet. Naruto and Shikamaru was already back there laughing, waiting to hear all the screaming. Choji and Kiba made it to the meeting spot and they stayed there waiting. The girls went inside the school and started walking toward the bathroom. Ino opened the door and a bunch of little frogs jumped out of the bathroom on all of them. They started running away from the bathroom screaming, and that's when the boys started laughing with Kiba on his back, Naruto holding his stomach, Shikamaru holding his stomach, Shino holding his stomach, and Choji holding his stomach. Hinata was just giggling softly hearing all the noise. Iruka and Mizuki made it to the academy and saw all the little frogs jumping around. Everybody get out, said Iruka, evacuating the school since he didn't know where all the frogs came from. All the kids from all the classes got out of the academy and went to the training grounds. Iruka was counting the kids and he realized that Naruto, Shikamaru, Choji, Shino, Kiba, and Hinata was missing from his class. Niji was looking really pissed off. He was just telling some kid about his fate when the thing happened. Has anyone seen Naruto? Asked Iruka, looking around between all the students. Tatsu, Kichi, you guys have to go, said Naruto, handing a piece of candy to each of the little toads. The little toads left in a puff of smokes and the group started walking toward their class with Naruto way behind them laughing. When the kids saw them, they knew that something was and that they had something to do with it. Iruka looked at them with anger clearly on his face. Did you guys have something to do with this? Asked Iruka, walking toward them. No sir, answered Kiba, looking at the academy teacher. Where were you guys then? Asked Iruka, still pissed off. In the back getting something to eat, said Choji, eating some chips. Umbus were already on the scene checking things out and investigating where all the little frogs came from since the school is in the middle of the village. All the little frogs disappeared, leaving the whole academy buried in white smokes and all the Umbus surprised out of their minds. The Umbus came outside and told Iruka that it was safe for the kids to go back inside, and they went to report to the Hokage that it was not an attack. Naruto then started making his way toward class with the other boys behind him laughing, and the girls were pissed off since they didn't want to go to the bathroom after what happened. With Jiraiya. Jiraiya was currently working on gathering the natural chakra since he knew all the other stuff already, but he still had to go over everything. He gathered the natural chakra and his features were still distorted, so Pa whacked him over the head with his cane. Jiraiya stopped and he started gathering the chakra again, and he got the hold of it. His eyes changed. The mark under his eye changed, and he grew a little beard, but his face stayed normal. Jiraiya was happy that it took less time than expected to complete it, and he knew that that was all that he could do since he mastered all of the sage techniques already. He still had to go over everything like a review and if possible make them better. Now for the taijutsu, said Pa, holding his cane up. He swung the cane after Jiraiya and the man just jumped in the air and dodged it like a toad. They were all over the big forest, each punch creating a big crater. Jiraiya was good in the sage arts, but he knew that he had to sharpen his skills since he hadn't found an opponent powerful enough that he had to use the Sannin mode. He jumped in the air and sent a kick toward the old sage, but the old toad blocked it with his cane, creating another crater on the ground. After school with Naruto, the bell of the academy rung and Naruto started making his way out of the academy with Hinata closely behind him since they were going in the same direction. Naruto walked home excited while Hinata was still quiet, being in the presence of her longtime crush. Naruto walked down the streets with a big smile with two things in his mind, the prank, and his ninjutsu training. Hey Hinata, how did you like the prank? Asked Naruto laughing, looking straight at the girl with his hands behind his head. It was really funny, Naruto-kun, said the girl, blushing, trying not to look in his eyes. Yes, said Naruto, laughing and getting a soft giggle from the Hyuga heiress. I'll see you tomorrow. And that jacket is not doing you any favors, you need to wear something lighter, said Naruto, looking at her smiling. What is he trying to say? Said Hinata to herself. Naruto ran inside his house and went upstairs to get ready for his training with the toad like Jiraiya told him. Naruto did a single hand seal and said Kage Bunshin no Jutsu Shadow Clone Jutsu, and he created 2 clones to go in the market district and get him something to eat and something for Gamakichi and Gamatatsu. Naruto went upstairs and took off all of his clothes and he put on another set of black pants he used for training purposes. Naruto went downstairs and got ready for his training with the toads, but what he didn't know was that someone was trying to spy on him. But she was finding it impossible since there was a seal placed on the walls around the compound that negated the Byakugan's abilities. Hinata was trying so hard to spy on the boy since she found out that he lived next to her, but she was a little pissed off that she couldn't see him train. Naruto did some hand seals, then said Kichiyo's no jutsu summoning jutsu, and summoned the toad that Jiraiya introduced him to before he left. He did another set of hand seals, then said Gamakuchiyo's no jutsu, Kichi, Tatsu toad summoning jutsu, Kichi and Tatsu, and summoned his 2 favorited little toads. Naruto stood up and looked around the training ground and saw the 3 toads looking at him. Okay Naruto-san, let's start, said Gamakino looking at the young kid. Hey Naruto, what's up, said Gamakichi looking at the yellow head boy laughing. Hey Kichi, Tatsu, my clones will be bringing you guys some snacks, said Naruto looking at his 2 little toad friends. Let us start now Naruto-san, said Gamakino looking at the young boy smiling. What do I do? Asked Naruto looking at the toad. Naruto started mimicking the toad everything that he did, even though after he did them, they got some moves at the same time, meaning that the boy was reading him and they could mimic each other. Naruto spent the rest of the day doing the same things with the toad over and over until the toad went home saying that they would start again tomorrow, and then he would move on and wait for Jiraiya to start his training. After the toads left, Naruto was about to go inside and take a shower, then change his clothes before he heard a knock on the door. He went by the door and looked through a little hole to see who it was and saw Hinata standing in front of his gates poking her fingers together. Naruto opened the gates and stood in front of her with his shirt off and his hands behind his back smiling. Hinata looked at his body and her face suddenly turned really red, so she started poking her fingers together even faster. Hey Hinata, can I help you? Asked Naruto looking at the girl smiling. Aye, said Hinata looking for the words to say. Are you okay? Do you have a fever or something? Said Naruto getting worried at the way the girl was looking. No, said Hinata quickly. Come in, said Naruto pulling her in the compound and closing the gates. Naruto didn't eat his ramen yet, so he took her inside the eating area of the compound and they sat down with Hinata trying to sit as far from him as possible. Do you want some ramen? Asked Naruto taking out 2 bowls of ramen. No, said Hinata blushing. Come on, have some, said Naruto moving closer to her. He took his chopstick and he put some food in her mouth. She ate it with her face getting more red and trying not to faint at the moment. Naruto-kun is feeding me, thought Hinata trying not to look in his eyes. What did you want? Asked Naruto looking at the girl. Do it, Hinata, thought Hinata getting redder and redder. I wanted to know what you meant by wearing lighter clothes, asked Hinata without stuttering this time. I just meant that you're really cute, and you need to wear lighter clothes so that everybody can notice it, said Naruto with his mouth full of ramen, not even realizing what he just said. Naruto-kun just said that I'm cute, thought Hinata before getting up and running out of the room. What did I do? Thought Naruto looking at the girl running away. Before she could run out of the gates, Hinata ran back toward the yellow head boy and kissed him on the lips before running away again. Naruto stood there with nothing to say. His face was getting pink and his heart was beating really fast. He just let himself fall on the ground with a big smile on his face and a chuckling fox in his head. Naruto spent 3 hours on the ground just laying there without moving a muscle. He did not even that he was meditating the whole time, since he stayed still. Naruto went inside and got in the shower with his face still pink, blushing. He didn't know what to think about what just happened. I mean, she just kissed him out of nowhere. The next day, Naruto woke up earlier than usual to start his morning workout so that he would not run into the Hyuga princess while he was going to school. What he did not know was that Hinata woke earlier than usual too so that she would not run into the Namikaze there. Naruto finished his morning workout, and he created 4 clones. He instructed one of the clone to transform into a random civilian to go do a task for him. Go get me 10 buckets of paint, said Naruto to the female clone. Breakfast, said Naruto to the clone that wasn't transformed, and the clone left and headed toward the ramen shop. Please practice the taijutsu style, said Naruto to the last clone. Surprisingly, Jiraiya gave him a buttload of cash for the week and he was getting money from the Hokage. Naruto did some hand seals, then said Kichiyo's no jutsu summoning jutsu, and he summoned the same toad from the day before, but no, he would get more practice done since he was going to do the exercise for the whole day while he was in school. Naruto waited for the clone that was coming with the paint and the clone that went to get his breakfast. The clone with the breakfast came and handed Naruto the food before dispelling himself, with Naruto receiving all of the memories of the clone. And the other clones did too. Naruto ate some of the ramen, then gave the rest to the other clones and the toad, so that they could keep their strength up. The clone with the paint came back and dispelled herself after handing Naruto the paint that he sent her to buy, she gave him 3 buckets of paint. Naruto said Kage Bunshin no Jutsu Shadow Clone Jutsu, and he created a clone, while he walked out of the compound with the buckets of paint heading toward the Hokage monuments, while the clone headed toward the academy. Naruto did not run into Hinata since she was already at the academy. He transformed himself into the ninja that he saw Jiraiya kill the night he came to the village, and he started painting the monuments. He put a big Irish mustache on the second Hokage, some big sideburns on the first, he put a pipe in the third's mouth with some glasses around the old man's eyes, and he put 2 red slash down the fourth's eyes just like Jiraiya. Naruto ran away from the monuments as fast as he could, and went back to the compound to clean himself up before people saw his art. He got to the compound and saw the 2 clones doing what he told them to do with the toad. He went to a bathroom and washed his hands, and he started heading back to the academy. He did not know that Sarutobi saw everything that he did for the day, and was ready to get him for. Naruto got to the academy and dispelled the clone before anybody could see and switch places with him. He sat down, and was paying attention with a big smile on his face. Kiba arrived with Akamaru on head, but he could not get into class since Sakura and some other girl that replaced Ino was fighting in front of the door for who gets to sit. Besides Sasuke, Kiba got tired of waiting and pushed both of them inside, and they rolled down to the front of the class. Naruto sat down and started acting like nothing happened while the girls were arguing with Kiba, who pushed them down the stairs. They did not want to hit Kiba because they knew he would retaliate since he don't take shit from anybody. Iruka came into class with a smile on his face, until he saw Sakura arguing with Kiba about something. Kiba, Sakura, please sit down, said Iruka, but they did not do what he said. Sit down, said Iruka using his big scary head jutsu. They quickly sat down and got ready for class. Today class, we're going on a field trip, said Iruka, smiling at his students. Where are we going, Iruka-sensei, said Naruto suspiciously. We're going to the top of the Hokage Tower to look at the Hokage monument for our history test today, said Iruka, and Naruto started laughing. What is it, Naruto asked Iruka, looking at the Naruto. Nothing, sensei, said Naruto, composing himself. He sent a quick glance toward Hinta and started blushing like the girl was blushing also. He realized that she changed her clothes. She was now wear a white shirt, under a light jacket with the same pants. The jacket was light enough to show all of her curves and assets. Hinata saw him looking at her and started blushing, and they both quickly turned around, not without Shikamaru noticing it. What happened with Hinata, whispered Shikamaru in his friend's ear. Nothing, said Naruto, getting on the defensive. Whatever, said Shikamaru, getting back to his bored mode. Shikamaru, did you finish the tree climbing exercise, asked Naruto, looking at his friend. Yeah, I did what you told me, and it was such a drag since my shadow can last longer and go farther now, said Shikamaru, looking at the yellow-head boy. Class, let us head out in a straight line, said Iruka, looking at them. He was in front of the line with Sasuke right behind him, Sakura behind Sasuke, and all the fangirls behind each other. Then there was Ino, Hinata, Naruto behind the shy princess, Shino behind the yellow-head boy, Kiba behind Shino. Choji was eating on some chips behind Kiba, and Shikamaru was behind his big friend, with a group of unknown boys behind them and Mizuki at the end of the line. They walked from the academy to the Hokage Tower, which was not far from one another, and Sakura was annoying enough to make Sasuke yell at her in the middle of the streets. I see you changed your jacket, Hinata, said Naruto, looking at the girl's back since he was behind her. Why, yes, stuttered Hinata, looking in front of her, not wanting to make any eye contact with the boy. I'm glad you look cuter with it, said Naruto, smiling at the girl. Yay, Naruto-kun just called me cute, yelled Hinata in her mind. Shino, did you practice the tree climbing exercise, asked, looking back at the quiet boy. Yes, I finished with it that same day and did what you told me to increase my reserve. Thank you, said Shino, looking at the boy. It's all right, said Naruto. They finally made it to the tower. The class finally made it to the tower, but they still did not see the prank as they were heading toward the top of the Hokage Tower to look at the monuments. Naruto was already ready to run in case they found out that it was him that pulled the prank. He was looking everywhere at the same time to see if anybody was looking for him. They walked up the stairs of the Hokage Tower and went to the top, and the Hokage would join them later on. Inside the office, Sarutobi called a team of umbus to bring the boy to him. Bring me Naruto, Uzumaki commanded the third. Hi, said the umbus, heading out. The class made it to the top of the tower, and the first thing they saw was the paintings on the faces of their fallen Kages. Everybody was yelling at what they saw, but Naruto was just looking to see if anyone was looking at him. A group of 5 umbus made it to the tower and started looking around the kids. Has anyone seen Uzumaki? Naruto asked the captain of the umbu team. He was right here, said Iruka, before seeing Naruto was not in the group of students in front of him. There he is, said one of the umbu members, seeing the yellow-hair kid running away, jumping from roof to roof. The umbus quickly went after him, running after the boy at full speed. Naruto, get back here, yelled Iruka, looking at the boy running away from the umbus, who were supposed to be the top of the shinobis trained to be under the Hokage himself. Class, It seems we have to continue the class even with all the paintings on our fallen Hokages, said Irika, clearly disappointed in the yellow-head boy. Naruto ran away from the Umbus at full speed and he was able to evade them really easy. He was ducking and hiding all over the village. Naruto used everything he knew to stay away from the Umbus, and it was working since they still couldn't catch the boy. After 2 hours of evading the top ninjas, he was getting a little tired, but he could still go at full speed since he trained his body with Jiraiya for that reason. He threw paint at them, he threw mud at them, and he was getting away in an alley when he heard Mokutan, Jubaka no Jutsu wood style, tree restraints, and some wood creeped up to his legs and the wood held him in place. Naruto was trying hard to get the wood off of him, but he was not successful for him. The Umbu member put a hand on his head and they all disappeared in a puff of smokes and leaves. They made it to the Hokage's office and Naruto was rubbing the back of his head looking at the third. "Let me go, damn it," yelled Naruto, glaring at the Umbu member. "Stay quiet before you get in more trouble," said the Umbu member. "Naruto, why did you paint on the Hokage monuments?" asked Sarutobi, looking at the boy carefully. "Because I'm going to surpass all of them," said Naruto with a lot of determination in his eyes. "That's wonderful. But you still have to clean it up," said Sarutobi, looking at the boy with a smile. "What, but Gramps?" whined Naruto, looking at the old Hokage. "Cat, please watch him so that he won't escape," said the third to the Umbu member in the cat mask. "Yes, sir," answered the man in the cat mask. 5 days later. In the past 5 days, Sasuke tried to fight Naruto on multiple occasions, but the boy did not want to fight the Avenger, since he did not want to get in trouble yet. He spent all the time getting closer with some of the toads, doing the mimicking exercise with every toad that he could find. He did it with Gamakichi, then with Gamatatsu, since he had done with all the toads around his size already. Naruto woke and went down the stairs of the compound to get something to eat before doing his morning routine. He made some eggs to eat, then he went outside and started doing his physical workout. He did the sit-ups and push-ups and then he proceeded to run the laps around the compound. Naruto finished with his physical workout. He did a single hand seal, then said Kage Bunshin no Jutsu Shadow Clone Jutsu, and created 2 shadow clones to spar while he was getting ready to go to the academy. "You guys have to spar on the lake, while I'm in the academy," instructed Naruto. He did not have to do the mimicking exercise with the toads today because Jiraiya was going to teach him ninjutsu today. The clones ran toward the lake and they started sparring using the style that they knew while Naruto was taking a shower inside. Naruto came downstairs and was about to walk out of the compound when Jiraiya appeared in front on him, smiling. He quickly ran toward the legendary ninja and hugged him with tears in his eyes. Jiraiya hugged him back with a smile on his face, and then they let go. "How was the week, Gaki?" asked Jiraiya, smiling, looking at the yellow-head boy. "It was really fun. I met a lot of toads and pulled the biggest prank ever," said Naruto, laughing. He then went on to explain the prank to Jiraiya, telling him every little detail. Flashback. Naruto woke up earlier than usual to start his morning workout so that he would not run into the Hyuga princess while he was going to school. What he did not know was that Hinata woke earlier than usual too, so that she would not run into the Namikaze there. Naruto finished his morning workout, and he created 4 clones. He instructed one of the clone to transform into a random civilian to go do a task for him. "Go get me 10 buckets of paint," said Naruto to the female clone. "Breakfast," said Naruto to the clone that wasn't transformed, and the clone left and headed toward the ramen shop. "Please practice the taijutsu style," said Naruto to the last clone. Surprisingly, Jiraiya gave him a boatload of cash for the week, and he was getting money from the Hokage. Naruto did some hand seals, then said Kichios no Jutsu summoning jutsu, and he summoned the same toad from the day before, but no, he would get more practice done since he was going to do the exercise for the whole day while he was in school. Naruto waited for the clone that was coming with the paint and the clone that went to get his breakfast. The clone with the breakfast came and handed Naruto the food before dispelling himself, with Naruto receiving all of the memories of the clone. And the other clones did too. Naruto ate some of the ramen, then gave the rest to the other clones and the toad, so that they could keep their strength up. The clone with the paint came back and dispelled herself after handing Naruto the paint that he sent her to buy. She gave him 3 buckets of paint. Naruto said Kage Bunshin no Jutsu Shadow Clone Jutsu, and he created a clone, while he walked out of the compound with the buckets of paint heading toward the Hokage monuments, while the clone headed toward the academy. Naruto did not run into Hinata since she was already at the academy. He transformed himself into the ninja that he saw Jiraiya kill the night he came to the village, and he started painting the monuments. He put a big Irish mustache on the second Hokage, some big sideburns on the first. He put a pipe in the third's mouth with some glasses around the old man's eyes, and he put 2 red slash down the fourth's eyes just like Jiraiya. Naruto ran away from the monuments as fast as he could, and went back to the compound to clean himself up before people saw his art. He got to the compound and saw the 2 clones doing what he told them to do with the toad. He went to a bathroom and washed his hands, and he started heading back to the academy. He did not know that Sarutobi saw everything that he did for the day, and was ready to get him for. Naruto got to the academy and dispelled the clone before anybody could see and switch places with him. He sat down, and was paying attention with a big smile on his face. Kiba arrived with Akamaru on head, but he could not get into class since Sakura and some other girl that replaced Ino was fighting in front of the door for who gets to sit. Besides Sasuke, Kiba got tired of waiting and pushed both of them inside, and they rolled down to the front of the class. Flashback end. You are one hell of a kid, you just like your mom was when she was young, said Jiraiya laughing. You can at least tell me about my mom, right, said Naruto looking at his sensei. Alright, send a shadow clone to the academy. We are training for the whole day, said Jiraiya with a sadistic grin on his face. Why do you have that look on your face, asked Naruto, taking a few steps back from the legendary Toad Sage of the Three Sanins. Just do it, laughed Jiraiya looking at the boy. Naruto did a single hand seal and said Kage Bunshin no Jutsu, shadow clone jutsu, performing his favorite jutsu, creating a single clone with enough chakra to last the whole day, and the clone would not dispel after just one hit. The clone quickly ran out of the compound heading toward the academy, while Naruto still had that scared look on his face looking at Jiraiya, his godfather. Alright, get in your training clothes, said Jiraiya going inside to get in his training clothes, as did Naruto. Jiraiya and Naruto came back outside to the training ground in just pants, with no shirt on. Jiraiya stood across from the boy with a smile on his face. Alright, let me explain the jutsu to you first, said Jiraiya looking at the boy. The Toad Oil Jutsu is mainly a diversion jutsu, but when you are in a team it can turn into a great combination. Your teammate can use a fire jutsu and you use the toad oil, and when they combine the fire will be 5 times stronger with the toad oil. I can also use combination jutsu with the toad boss. He would spit out the oil and I would create the fire, making a big and dangerous fireball, said Jiraiya looking at the boy. Awesome was all that Naruto wanted to say. Alright, let me show you how to do it, said Jiraiya looking at the boy. He did some hand seals very slowly, then he said Gamma Ninpu, Gamma Yuden Toad Ninja Art, Toad Oil Jutsu, and his cheeks puffed up before he spat out some oil which hit the training dummy bullseye on the head. Jiraiya finished the jutsu and he walked back to stand beside the yellow-head boy. Cool, yelled Naruto, jumping up and down in place. Let's show you the hand seals, said Jiraiya, showing the boy every single hand seals one by one. Naruto did the hand seals for the jutsu very slowly, then he said Gamma Ninpu, Gamma Yuden Toad Ninja Art, Toad Oil Jutsu, and nothing happened. He looked back at Jiraiya with a serious look on his face. Gaki, concentrate the chakra in your stomach to gather the oil, then move it up to your mouth before spitting it out, explained Jiraiya looking at the boy. Okay, said Naruto looking at his teacher with a lot of determination in his eyes. Naruto concentrated some chakra in his stomach and he started gathering the oil. He went through the same hand seal, then said Gamma Ninpu, Gamma Yuden Toad Ninja Art, Toad Oil Jutsu, moving the oil to his mouth using his chakra, and a little oil came out of his mouth which he could only spit 3 feet away from his position. Now you know what to do, just use more chakra to more oil and move it up to your mouth quicker, said Jiraiya looking at the boy smiling. In the academy, the clone sat in his seat just joking around with the boys and following everything that was going on in the class. Iruka was making the class extra boring today. He wanted to leave, but he was afraid that they could find out that he is just a clone, so he just stayed there joking with the boys. Sasuke was across from him glaring at him, but he did not even bother to glance at the Uchiha Avenger. There were some more students looking at him. Sakura was looking at him, just glaring at the yellow boy, while Hinata was just throwing quick glances to him every few minutes. He finally decided to let the boring class get the better of himself, and he fell asleep. Naruto, Shikamaku, wake up, yelled Iruka using his big scary head jutsu, which startled the boys, waking them up instantly. We up, said Naruto looking at his teacher. Naruto, I want you to name all of the Hokages, and what they were known for, said Iruka looking at the boy. Let me, Iruka-sensei. He will never get this right, said Sakura laughing with her hands up. Put your hand down, Sakura, said Iruka looking at the girl. Naruto, I'm waiting, said Iruka looking at the boy. First Hokage, named Senju Hashirama. He was one of the founders of this village along with Uchiha Madara. It is said that he created this village using his Mokutan-style jutsu. He later fought and defeated Uchiha Madara to get the title of Hokage. Second Hokage, named Senju Tobirama. He was the brother of the first Hokage. He was known for being able to create a vast amount of water with no water source around. He was a master of water-style ninjutsus. The third Hokage, named Gramps or Gigi. No, that's not it, said Naruto Kami looking at his sensei. Hey Kyusen, what's Gramps' name, asked Naruto to the great demon. Sarutobi Hiruzen, said Kyubi laughing at the boy. Thanks, said Naruto to the fox. Hurry up, and why do you call the third Gramps, asked Sakura glaring at the boy. Shut the hell up, Sakura, yelled Kiba from behind Naruto. The third Hokage, named Sarutobi Hiruzen, known as the god of shinobi for his knowledge of ninjutsu. he was trained by the first and second Hokages. He trained the 3 legendary ninjas known as the Sanins. Jiraiya was one of them, and that's all I can remember. He's been in office longer than all of the other Hokages combined. The 4th Hokage, name I don't really know, he was the strongest and youngest of all the other Hokages. He was trained by the legendary Sannin Jiraiya. He was known all around the world as the Yellow Flash of Konoha for his teleportation ninjutsu. He died fighting against the strongest of all the tailed demon, sealing the demon inside a baby, giving his own life, said Naruto calmly, looking at the academy teacher. Everyone looked at him shocked. Naruto was supposed to be an idiot, and he knows all that information about the village. That's correct, said Iruka, smiling at the boy. He cheated, yelled Sakura, pointing at the boy. From what, asked Naruto, glaring at the girl. Sakura just looked at everyone in the class with nothing to say. Think before you fucking talk, forehead, said Kiba, laughing from behind Naruto. Naruto, if you knew all this, why did you vandalize the monuments? Asked Iruka, looking at the boy. Because I'm going to surpass all of them, said Naruto, smiling. Namake's compound. Good, said Jiraiya, looking at the boy, smiling. For the next 2 days you will work on controlling the jutsu and its accuracy, said Jiraiya, looking at the boy. Can I do it with the clones? Asked Naruto, looking at his sensei. Yes, this is how we're going to do it now. Every time you can perform a jutsu with full power, you can use the clones to completely master the jutsu, said Jiraiya, looking at the boy. Create 5 clones so that they can finish this jutsu while we work on something else, said Jiraiya, looking at the boy. Kage Bunshin no Jutsu Shadow Clone Jutsu, said Naruto, creating 5 clones like his sensei instructed him. The 5 clones went ahead and they each stood across from a practice dummy, and they started going through the series of hand seals used for the jutsu that they were to practice. And together they all said Gamma Ninpu, Gamma Yuden Toad Ninja Art, Toad Oil Jutsu, and out of their mouth they shoot out some oil which hit the training dummies. They continued doing the same thing over and over, each time adding more power to the jutsu. Now do it against each other. Try to hit each other running slowly and increase the speed over time, said Jiraiya to the clones, and they started to run slowly like academy kids, doing the hand seals to the jutsu. Okay, Naruto, summon the toad that you want to use the combination jutsu with, said Jiraiya, looking at the boy. Naruto bit his thumb and went through the series of hand seals for the summoning jutsu slowly. He put the blood on his palm, then said, summoning a toad almost as big as himself, the same one that he trained with for the first time. You can go back, Gamakino. He's not ready for the jutsu, said Jiraiya, looking at the yellow-head boy. What do you mean? Yelled Naruto, looking at the man. He will summon you later, Gamakino, said Jiraiya, looking at the toad. The toad went back to empty Mayaboku and Jiraiya turned to look at his student. You perform hand seals too slow, said Jiraiya, looking at the boy. But Naruto tried to plead to his sensei. Don't say anything, said Jiraiya with a serious look on his face. Start going over all the hand seals one by one, until you can perform them very quick under any kind of pressure, said Jiraiya, looking at the boy. Naruto started going over all the hand seals that he learned from the academy, and the ones that Jiraiya just showed him very slowly since he just learned them. His clones were still working on the Toad Oil Jutsu, and they were performing the seals for the jutsu faster and faster, and they ran out of chakra, and they all dispelled, sending back the experience to Naruto and the clone at the academy. He could hit a fast-moving target with the Toad Oil 3 out of 5 times. The clones came up with a move where they spit out the oil on the ground, slowing down the others since they had not catch themselves when they started slipping on the oil. Naruto was still going over the hand seals like Jiraiya told, and now they had to go get something to eat. We're taking a break. Going to get something to eat, said Jiraiya, looking at the boy. Ramen, yelled Naruto, running toward the entrance to the compound at full speed. Slow down, boy, said Jiraiya, running after the boy. Ichiraku ramen. Naruto and Jiraiya walked inside the little stand and they each took a seat on a stool waiting for someone to take their order. There was no business since school wasn't out yet, so the old man was in the back of the ramen stand just sitting there. Naruto was getting really impatient since he did not see the old man or Ayam yet. Hey, old man, screamed Naruto from his seat. Naruto, is that you? Shouted the old man from the back of the ramen stand. Yes, said Naruto when he saw the old man in his sight. Oh, you are here with your sensei again, said Tuchi, looking at the legendary Toad Sage. Hello, Jiraiya-sama, said Tuchi, greeting the old man. Hey, said Jiraiya, putting the peace sign up. They ordered their food and ate, and they went back to the compound to continue Naruto's training, which was going along very great since Naruto was a really fast learner once you performed the thing in front of him as a demonstration. Namake's compound. Jiraiya walked inside the entrance of the compound and they went to the training ground to get ready to train Naruto to use the combination ninjutsus with the toads. But before that he has to master his wind chakra type. Jiraiya knew that he had wind and water chakra because of his father and mother, so now he just had to see if he was right about what he thought. Naruto was standing across from his sensei waiting for his training session to start. I'll be right back, Gaki, said Jiraiya, disappearing in a puff of smokes. Sensei, screamed Naruto to his now gone sensei. Jiraiya appeared close to the lake where the hot springs is located and he unsealed a sword from a scroll. He was about cut down a tree to take the leaves, but then he thought about it. If I cut trees around here, I won't have any place to hide for my research, thought Jiraiya looking at the tree. He disappeared in a puff of smokes and he reappeared in the forest just outside the wall of the village and proceeded to cut off a lot of branches from the tree because he needed the leaves to train Naruto. Jiraiya sealed the branches in a storage scroll and he went back to the compound to start the boys' training. Okay Naruto, this here is one of the hardest training you will ever have to go through, said Jiraiya looking at the boy with his face serious. What, said Naruto a little nervous. Come here, said Jiraiya taking out a piece of paper. Flow your chakra through this, said Jiraiya handing him the piece of paper. Naruto flowed his chakra through the little piece of paper and the paper got split in 4 equal pieces. One of the pieces crumbled to dust, one of them got wet, one of the pieces got burned, and the last piece just looked like somebody balled it up. Naruto looked at his sensei waiting for an explanation from the man, but Jiraiya was still standing there frozen with his mouth and eyes wide open. Naruto tried to get Jiraiya to move, but the Toad Sage stood in the same position for a whole minute. The legendary Toad Sage finally did some movement, and he fell straight on his butt. What is wrong with you, sensei? Asked Naruto looking at the man. It is not every day that you see someone with the ability to use all 5 elements. And one as young as you is barely seen, said Jiraiya smiling at the boy. Yeah, I'm awesome, screamed Naruto jumping up and down, before he started running around the compound in joy. Okay, let's start. The faster you finish this, the faster we can work on the combination jutsu, said Jiraiya looking at the boy. Yes, screamed Naruto standing across from the Toad Sage. Naruto, create as many clones as you can, said Jiraiya looking at the boy. Naruto was about to do the hand seals when Jiraiya stopped him. We can't do this here, said Jiraiya looking at the boy. Jiraiya put his hand on Naruto's head, and they both disappeared in a puff of smokes, using the body flicker jutsu. The two reappeared in the middle of the Forest of Death, which was a forest mostly used for the Chunin exam. Jiraiya unsealed the branches that he got from the forest just outside the village, and he put the branches on the ground. Now create as many clones as you can, said Jiraiya looking at the boy. Naruto did the single hand seal that he needed to perform the Shadow Clone Jutsu, and he yelled Kage Bunshin no Jutsu Shadow Clone Jutsu, and with that 200 clones popped into existence all around the two. Now each of you grab a leaf, said Jiraiya pointing at the branches on the ground. Each of the clones took a leaf from the branches that was on the ground, leaving just the stick behind. Jiraiya was sitting on a rock that was nearby waiting for them to get ready to start. All the clones and Naruto stood around Jiraiya with a leaf in each their hands. That when they felt that the clone that was at the academy dispelled, knowing that the academy was over. Okay, now what you have to do is cut the leaf in half with your chakra, said Jiraiya showing the boy what to by taking a leaf from one of the trees and put it in his palm. He concentrated his chakra into the leaf, and the leaf was cut in half. How did you do that, said Naruto looking at his sensei. Just think about your wind chakra, it is like a blade. Think about it and flow it to leaf and make it as thin as possible, cutting the leaf. This training takes other ninjas years to master. But with you clones you can train one with 100 clones, and you will gain 100 days worth of training, explained Jiraiya looking at the boy. You've heard, Jiraiya-sensei, screamed Naruto, starting with the training. All the clones started working hard on cutting the leaf in two. Later that night, Naruto finished cutting the leaf when it was about to get dark because he used the fox's chakra to create more clones, so he would finish faster. Jiraiya was proud that he was able to finish the first part of the training in 1 day, even though he finished it in 400 days since he used the clones to work with him. Okay, let's go back to the compound. I'll explain the second part to you and you can start on it tomorrow morning, said Jiraiya looking at the boy. They started walking out of the Forest of Death to head toward the compound where they would rest for the next day. Hinata was outside her family compound with her Byakugan activated, waiting to see if the yellow-head boy was coming back home since she lost him when school ended. Naruto and Jiraiya walked toward the compound walking slowly. Hinata spotted them, and she quickly put 2 bentos with different kinds of food in them in front of the compound gates before she ran back in her family compound with her face red and her heart racing. Jiraiya and Naruto made it to the front of the compound, and they saw the cases of food on the ground with a note on them. Jiraiya picked up the note, and he read the note, which only said, "I hope you enjoyed Naruto-kun, and Naruto-kun's guardian. Seems like you got a crush cooking for Yugaki," teased Jiraiya looking at the boy. "Shut up, Gigi," said Naruto looking at the man with a blush on his face. Naruto picked up the cases of food and handed one to Jiraiya, and they walked inside the compound. They went inside and sat down to eat their food. They opened the cases and a delicious aroma hit their faces and had both of them drooling over the scent of the food. Naruto and Jiraiya ate their food with unbelievable speed. They just stuffed their faces with the food. "Man, that was delicious," said Naruto putting his bento down. "Yeah, I'll say," said Jiraiya doing the same. "Okay, Naruto, you need to rest. Because tomorrow we are going to finish the training, said Jiraiya looking at the boy. Remind Jiraiya to come to your mindscape, said the nine-tailed demon lord to the kid. I almost forgot, said Naruto to the fox. GG, Kyuubi said don't forget to go to my mindscape, said Naruto to the toad sage. Oh, I almost forgot, said Jiraiya looking at the boy. Jiraiya walked and sat in front of the boy, closing his eyes and putting his hand on the yellow-head boy's head, and he found himself in a big place with many doors, instead of the sewer that they were used to, but the walls were a little old, and some was brand. Naruto has been getting happier with his life, so the place changed from a sewer to an old place with some of the walls brand new, meaning they were getting newer over time. Jiraiya made it to the front of the place where Kyuubi was sealed. Hello Jiraiya. Would you mind sitting down, said Kyuubi looking at the man with a big chewing toy between his jaws. Hey there Kyuubi, said Jiraiya sitting in a meditating position. The demon lord closed his eyes and found himself in Jiraiya's mindscape, and the first thing he saw when he got there was several pictures of beautiful, sexy, naked, young women with smiles on their faces. He went around with a big grin on his face, and adjusted the man's eyes and made copies of the pictures and put them in his mind. It's done, said Kyuubi, and Jiraiya opened his eyes. I'll see you around, said Jiraiya getting up. No problem, said Kyuubi going back to chewing on his toy. Real world. Naruto took the cases and put them in front of the gates with a thank you note on them, and he went back inside to start his meditating session on the little lake. He wanted to meditate somewhere else, but Jiraiya told him that he had to meditate on the water. Naruto woke up and he started getting ready to do the physical workout so he could start his day. He remembered that the leaf-cutting exercise was really hard yesterday, and Jiraiya said that the training that he is going to do today is harder, and he was excited knowing that it would make him stronger. He started stretching, and when he looked around he saw that his sensei was already up and he was meditating on the water, like he made the yellow-head boy do every night. Naruto started doing the push-ups, then the sit-ups, he did some squats, and he went through all the katas to the taijutsu style. After doing all that he ran 3 laps around the compound. When he finished with the physical workout he sat down beside Jiraiya on the water, and he started to meditate to regain his chakra back, so he would not be weak when the training starts. Naruto and Jiraiya got up when they finished training so that they would start with the training that they are about to go through. Naruto did a single hand seal, then said Kage Bunshin no Jutsu Shadow Clone Jutsu, and he created a clone. That is the clone that would go to the academy today. The clone went inside the main house and put the clothes that Naruto usually wears on, and he headed toward the academy, while Naruto stayed back to start his training. Naruto created a clone of himself also, and the clone put his clothes on and headed toward the hot springs to find a good peeking spot for his research. Naruto, we are going to the Forest of Death again, because you will be using a lot of clones again for today's training, said Jiraiya looking at the boy. Okay, what was that clone for, sensei, asked Naruto as they were walking toward the front entrance. Oh, don't worry about it. I sent that clone to check out the forest before we get there to make that there is no one there, said Jiraiya looking at the boy with a smile on his face. Jiraiya put a hand on Naruto's head, and with that they disappeared in a puff of smokes, reappearing in the Forest of Death where they would continue the training for mastering the wind element. Unlike the day before where they were in the middle of the forest, today they were in a large clearing. Jiraiya removed his hand from the boy's head and went by the clearing. He went through a series of quick hand seals before saying Doton, Doryu Jihiki Earth Style, Earth Flow Rampart, and a large and wide ridge rose from the ground. Jiraiya was on top of the ridge while Naruto was on the ground looking up at his sensei. Jiraiya looked at the ridge and knew that something was missing. He went through another series of hand seals, then he said Suetun, Taketsubo no Jutsu Water Style. Waterfall basin, and a waterfall started falling from the top of the ridge. Jiraiya jumped down with one thing on his mind: something was missing. Jiraiya walked toward the waterfall and he went through some other hand seals, then he said Doton, Doria Heki no Jutsu Earth Style, Earth Wall, and a wall rose up from the ground in front of the waterfall. He created another earth wall alongside the other one, and he walked back toward the yellow-head boy. Alright, Gaki, all you have to do is split the waterfall with your chakra alone, said Jiraiya pointing at the waterfall. He jumped on the earth wall and showed the yellow-head boy what he was talking about by splitting the waterfall with his chakra. After that, I'll be stronger, right, said Naruto looking at his sensei. Sure, then I can teach you more jutsu, said Jiraiya looking at the boy. Alright, let's go, screamed Naruto jumping up and down. Naruto did a single hand seal, then he said Taju Shuriken Kage Bunshin no Jutsu Multi Shuriken Shadow Clone Jutsu, and he created 50 clones to do the exercise along with him. The clones and himself jumped on the earth walls and they started pushing their chakra in the waterfall with the hope of splitting it. They just started doing the exercise, so Jiraiya found somewhere to sit down and meditate while the boy was doing the exercise. 6 hours later, the clone that was at the academy was dispelled, sending Naruto all the experience and knowledge from school. and how Sasuke tried to fight him the whole day but the clone did not fight knowing that his cover might get blown. Naruto succeeded in splitting the waterfall, and he was currently resting to regain his chakra for the combination ninjutsu that he was going to learn. Jiraiya went back meditating after congratulating the yellow-head boy, because they would continue training here since they could make more destruction in the forest than in the compound. Having regained some of his chakra back, Naruto got up and he looked at his sensei. "Alright, let's get started, sensei," said Naruto looking at the man in front of him. Okay, said Jiraiya getting up from the rock he was sitting on. "Summon the toad," said Jiraiya looking at the boy. Naruto bit his thumb drawing some for the summoning jutsu. He put the blood on the palm of his right hand and he went through the hand seals using the exact amount of chakra that he used to summon Gamakino before. After doing the hand seals he said Kichios no Jutsu summoning jutsu, and summoned the medium-sized toad that he trained with. "Hello Naruto-san, are you ready now?" asked Gamakino looking at the boy. "Believe it," said Naruto looking at the toad that was almost his size. "Okay Naruto, you don't really need any hand seals for this jutsu since you just combine your chakra with the toad to perform. But know that you have to insert your chakra at the right time, or it won't work," said Jiraiya looking at the boy. The toad went through a series of hand seals. When he finished with the hand seals, Naruto put his hand on the toad's back and they both shouted Gamma Kombi no Jutsu. Suede and toad combination jutsu, water bullet, and a medium-sized water ball came out of the toad's mouth and hit the tree that they were using as a target, successfully turning the tree into a bunch of wood cubes. Naruto's eyes were widened at the power of the water ball, and Jiraiya walked toward him to explain the jutsu to him. "You can go back now, Gamakino," said Jiraiya looking at the toad. "Thank you, Jiraiya-sama," said Gamakino, disappearing a puff of smokes. "You see, Naruto, a regular water ball would just blow the tree off the trunks, but when you add the wind chakra to it, the water ball can most likely go through anything and destroy it," said Jiraiya looking at the boy. "Let's go grab a bite to eat before I teach you another jutsu," said Jiraiya looking at the boy. Nobody in the village knew that Jiraiya was training Naruto except for the third Hokage, Tsuchi, and the tailor that made Naruto's clothes, and they did not want anyone to find out yet, or it would be suspicious why the legendary toad sage of the village was training the demon brat. Jiraiya put a hand on his student's head, and they disappeared in a puff of smokes, reappearing in the Namake's compound. As soon as they got there, Jiraiya and Naruto sent some kids outside the compound and Naruto went to the gates while Jiraiya went inside. Naruto opened the door to see Shikamaru, Choji, and Shino in the front of the gates. "Hey guys, what are you doing here?" said Naruto looking at his friends. "To chill." "What else?" said Shikamaru walking in the compound. "Oh," said Naruto walking toward the lake where they would chill. The boys sat by the lake while Naruto went inside to tell Jiraiya that he had some friends over. "Gigi, I have some friends over, so I can learn the jutsu after they leave." "Okay," said Naruto looking at the man. "I'll be out in a minute," said Jiraiya looking at the boy while he was drinking some tea. "Okay," said Naruto looking at the man. "With Sasuke." Sasuke was in his clan compound training with his Sharingan since he wanted to master the Jujutsu as fast as possible if he wanted to kill his brother. Again he saw a man in a long white coat with a mask appear in front of him. At first he wanted to attack the man, but then he decided against it. "I'm here to help you," said the masked man looking at him. "Go on," said Sasuke looking at the man. "Here is what you should start with, if you don't want to waste your chakra," said the man looking at him. They proceeded to gather some chakra to the bottom of his feet, and Sasuke saw the amount of chakra the man used with his Sharingan, and the man walked up the tree and down. "It's called the tree climbing exercise. You can't use too much chakra or the tree will blow up. And you can't use too little because you will fall down," said the man before he disappeared from the compound. Sasuke gathered the same amount of chakra to his feet, and he tried to walk up the tree like the man showed him, but the tree just blew up, sending him to the ground. Sasuke got up and he tried again, but his time using less chakra than the first time, and he got up about 5 steps he fell down, and now he knew that he had to keep the chakra the same the whole way up. Sasuke got on the tree again, this time walking the whole way up the tree. He decided that he would run up the tree this time since he got the idea that it would make him better. Sasuke spent the whole time going over his fire jutsu arsenal again, seeing the result of the tree climbing exercise. Namake's compound. Jiraiya walked out of the house and went by the lake to see Naruto talking with his friends by the little lake that was located in the back of the compound. Jiraiya walked up to them without any one of them realizing it, and he sat behind them without making a sound. "What you guys talking about?" said Jiraiya, suddenly scaring the living shit out of them. "Don't be sneaking up on people like that," yelled Naruto looking at the man. "Shut up," said Jiraiya, smacking him on the head. "Hey Shikamaru, how is it going?" said Jiraiya looking at the boy. "I'm fine, Jiraiya-sama," said Shikamaru bowing in front of the man. "How is your dad?" said Jiraiya putting a hand on the boy's shoulder. "He's fine, but he's a drag," said Shikamaru smiling at the man. "You are from the Aburame clan, right?" said Jiraiya looking at Shino. "Yes, Jiraiya-sama," said Shino bowing in front of the man. And you are from the Akimichi clan, said Jiraiya, smiling at Choji. Guys, I'll have to cut your time short, but I'll give you something to do. Don't tell anyone that I'm the one who gave it to you, since I do not want the council to know that I'm here, said Jiraiya, looking at the boy. Yes, sir, said all of them at the same time. Naruto, go get ready, said Jiraiya, looking at the boy. I'll be right back, said Naruto to the boys while he was walking toward the house where his room was. Come here, Shikamaru, said Jiraiya, taking out 3 pieces of paper from his pocket. He handed Shikamaru 1 piece of paper, and he did the same for the other 2 boys. Choji and Shino took the pieces of papers and stood looking at the man with a confused look on their faces. Flow your chakra to the papers, said Jiraiya, looking at them. Shikamaru's paper burned, Shino's paper turned to dust, and Choji's paper turned to dust also. Interesting. Seems like Shikamaru can use fire-based jutsus. And you too can use earth-based jutsus, said Jiraiya, smiling at them. That's what this was for, said Choji, looking at the man. Fire, what a drag, said Shikamaru, which had Jiraiya laughing. Jiraiya walked toward a tree that was by the lake and took a leaf off a branch and handed it to Shikamaru. He picked up 2 rocks and gave one to Choji and one to Shino. Shikamaru, all you have to do is burn this leaf with your chakra. It will be difficult, so ask your father for help and anyone else you can find, said Jiraiya, looking at the boy. Choji, Shino, yours will be harder because it's a rock, but all you have to do is split the rock with your chakra. Ask anyone that you can for help, and once you finish it, find me, said Jiraiya, looking at the boys, smiling. Start now, I'll see you guys around, said Jiraiya, smiling at them. They walked out of the compound, each of them trying to do what Jiraiya just gave, but they were told not to tell anyone who gave it to them. First thing that had Shikamaru focused, but he still found it as a major drag since he had other work to do aside from what he has to do at home. Naruto walked out of the house with nothing more than his shinobi pants and ready for training with his sensei. He looked around and did not see he boys, and he knew that they left already. Okay, sensei, I'm ready, said Naruto, looking at the man. Alright, Naruto. In about 4 months I'll be leaving the village to find more information about Uchiha Madara from some of my spies. In 4 months I'll be training you to be able to take care of yourself in battle. You will be able to fight on equal ground with any Chunin-level shinobis, and with your speed and stealth ability you will be able to leave with your life against some low jounins. I taught you the combination jutsu because it will help you in battle against stronger opponents, and summon some battle toads to help you in battle. By the time you graduate I'll be back to train you some more, and we can have some more fun then. Before I leave you will have to master one more element, and that is fire, because you get to use fire with the toads a lot since they use the oil. Right now we'll start with your fire training, said Jiraiya, looking at the boy, smiling. Why do you have to leave? Asked Naruto, looking at the man with a sad smile. Because I have to find out more about Madara for your protection, said Jiraiya, looking at the boy, smiling. Once you finish with your fire element training, I'll teach you your mother's fighting style, said Jiraiya, looking at the boy, smiling. Awesome, what do I do? Asked Naruto, looking at the man with a big grin on his face. First, this is just like what you had to do for the wind element, but instead of splitting the leaf you want to burn it, said Jiraiya, taking a leaf off of the tree branch. And he put it in his palm before the leaf was caught on fire in his palm. Create some clones, said Jiraiya, looking at the boy. Naruto did the single hand seal, then he said Taju Shuriken Kaiga Bunshin no Jutsu Multi Shuriken Shadow Clone Jutsu, and all around him 100 clones appeared with a similar grin on their faces. They each took a leaf of the branch, and they started on doing the exercise. They were getting some advices from the fox and from Jiraiya. Some of the leaves already had smokes coming off of them, but they were not caught on fire yet, and Naruto was happy that he was progressing in the training. He found this training easier than the one that he had to do for his wind chakra, since he did not have to make it as thin as possible, he just had to channel it to the leaf. Naruto spent the rest of the night working on the exercise, and he was happy that he got before his meditation time. He was finally ready to learn some ninjutsus, and he was happy about that. A week later, in the past week that passed, Naruto did not learn any ninjutsu from the Toad Sage. Instead, he learned his mother's taijutsu style after mastering the fire element. Shikamaru worked non-stop on the exercise, and with the help of his dad he finally had it down 5 days later. He trained with his dad to improve his chakra reserve, and he also learned the water walking exercise from his dad. Sasuke spent his time training his Sharingan. He would use his Dijutsu in every spar that they had in the academy, but he only wanted to test against Naruto now. But the boy never wanted to fight with him. Shino and Choji did not finish the exercise yet, but they trained with their family to improve their chakra reserve, and they trained in taijutsu, but they still did not tell anyone where they got the rock idea from. Naruto was now ready to learn some ninjutsus since he spent his whole time mastering the Uzumaki taijutsu style, which was a mass movement style which matched Naruto perfectly since he was really fast. He learned a few seals trick like how to seal things in storage scroll, and he was currently working on a seal which could instantly heat up instant ramen cups. Naruto woke up in the morning and he was stretching, getting ready for his training day. He was happy that his sensei was taking his time to train him. He finished with the physical workout, and it was time for him to punch and kick the tree that was in the middle of the training ground to improve his hitting power. Jiraiya made him put weights on his arms and legs for this exercise. Naruto finished with the exercise about 1 hour later, and he went inside to get something to eat before Jiraiya woke up and worked him to death. Jiraiya woke up and he took a shower. He then went downstairs and saw some food prepared and a cup of tea. He ate the food and drank the tea before going outside to find Naruto waiting for him. "Alright, Naruto, today we work on your reflexes," said Jiraiya looking at the boy. "What are we doing?" said Naruto looking at the man. Jiraiya bit his thumb, then he did some fast hand seals, then said Kichios no Jutsu summoning jutsu, and he summoned 2 medium-sized toads. Naruto looked at him with a nervous smile on his face because he did not know what his sensei was up to. "Naruto, you will perform all the hand seals that I taught you, in order while these toads are trying to hit you with their tongues," said Jiraiya looking at the boy smiling. "What?" yelled Naruto, about to walk up to the legendary ninja, when he felt 2 powerful things hit him in the back and legs. He fell on the ground, then turned to see the toads looking at him. "Start now," said Jiraiya looking at the boy laughing. Naruto started going through every single hand seal he knew while he was dodging the long and fast tongues of the 2 toads. He started out doing really bad because every time he would dodge one the other would hit him. But then it got worse because his body was starting to hurt, and he was slowing down and getting hit by both the toads. Let's say at the end of the day Naruto had to go to the hot spring to relax his body. Jiraiya was working him to death, and he knew that it was for him to get stronger. Naruto was glad that he had the fox's healing ability, or he would be in the hospital for weeks after those training sessions that he had to do. A month later. In the past month, Naruto spent some time doing seals training with his sensei. After he completed the heating seal, he was so happy that he worked a whole lot faster than before. He was getting a liking to learning about seals since Jiraiya told him that the 4th Hokage was a seals master. Jiraiya made Naruto work on his dodging ability non-stop by summoning the toads every day. He also worked on his throwing ability. Naruto wanted to learn ninjutsus already, but he knew that all the other skills were better than learning any ninjutsu, and he was willing to wait for the ninjutsu training. Jiraiya improved his stealth to an even greater level, which was a bad thing for the village since Naruto was a known prankster in the village. He would wake the boy up earlier than usual, and they would play hide and seek with a couple of toads in the forest of death. The boy worked on everything except for ninjutsu. He did some more chakra control exercises with the toad sage, and he also learned how to sense people's chakra from the toad sage. "You are finally ready for some ninjutsu training," said Jiraiya smiling at the boy. "Yippee!" yelled Naruto jumping up and down with a big smile on his face. "Calm down. Create some clones. I want you to learn these jutsus fast, so that we can move on," said Jiraiya looking at the boy. Naruto did the single hand seal and said Tajui Shuriken Kage Bunshin no Jutsu Multi Shuriken Shadow Clone Jutsu, and he created 10 clones to work with him. Jiraiya looked at him smiling and knew that he was not a show-off and he was ready to learn the jutsus. "Okay, Naruto, divide the clones into 2 groups," said Jiraiya looking at the boy smiling. Naruto divided the clones into 2 groups of 5, and they stood in front of the toad sage waiting for instructions. "Naruto, the first jutsu that I'm going to teach you today is called the Fireball Jutsu," said Jiraiya looking at the boy. "Let me show you how it works," said Jiraiya looking at him. The toad sage went through a series of quick hand seals, then he took a deep breath before he said Katan, and in fire style, "Fireball," and a jet of fire came out of his mouth and turned one of the practice dummies to ash. "Wow," said Naruto looking at the man with stars in his eyes. "Here are the hand seals," said Jiraiya showing him all the hand seals one by one. Naruto did the same hand seals really fast, then he inhaled before saying Katan, and in fire style, "Fireball," and a small jet of fire came out of his mouth, which only made it a feat from his position. Naruto frowned that he did not get the jutsu right away, but he knew that he had time to finish learning it. Jiraiya looked at the boy with a smile, and he knew that the boy had a lot of potential ready to be exploited. "Gather the chakra in your stomach and chest and add more chakra," said Jiraiya looking at the boy. "Okay," said Naruto looking at his sensei.